All right. So, there we go. There we go. So, hey everyone, how's it going? I just realized I'd basically been talking to myself for the past few minutes. I started streaming, but they changed their interface a little bit, so apparently I wasn't actually fully alive, which I was like, what is going on? Am I like talking to myself or something? So give me 1 sec to double check and make sure that everything's working. Let me know in the chat if you can see me and hear me. That was so weird. Like, I started it, there was people in the chat. It said I was live, and then I started going, and then I saw on my YouTube channel there was like 3 different things, and they all said it was waiting for me to start the stream. So, yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me so that I don't do that again. I see in the chat we got Kiernan, we got Chris Meager. Cool. And Kiernan says, you're live. Sweet. Okay, good. Yeah. Wow. That was a weird situation. Anyways, I guess I'll redo my intro. Welcome back to another Music Review Monday. If you've never been here, basically every Monday, I review music. There's 2 ways to submit your tracks. One is through the Patreon link, link in the description. If you're part of the Patreon, just go there and you'll see the most recent post is for tonight's live stream. And the second way, if you're not part of the Patreon and you don't want to join the Patreon, there's information for how to submit via Twitter below. You just use hashtag Music Review Monday, and I'll be sorting through the tweets as well. So let me just fix my comment thing here. Pop out chat. There we go. All right. So I was. It's funny. I was just playing through this track, so I'll give it a start over. This is Ditto Master Always. So overall, I think the style you're going for here is super unique. The somewhat like vocoder-ish effect you have in your vocals sounds super unique. And the production's pretty clear overall. Now, it's not like my cup of tea. It's a little, I don't know, indie slash, I don't even know what I'd call it. It's a little outside of a genre I normally listen to. But however, I think it's a little, like, it's a pretty solid song overall. So I'm just going to give you kind of like my critique of what I things I think you could improve on. Sky Monroe mentioned catchy song. Totally agree. Super catchy track. I think it could be have a little more evolution throughout. And you kind of do evolve it a bit, but it stays kind of at that constant pace throughout. And if I skip through a bit, kind of stays constant at that pace and that drum groove, and I think it would have benefited from maybe some change up in the rhythm elements, because it stays kind of this constant throughout. But catchy track, good production, good vocals, cool effects, and very unique sound. So pretty great job overall. And I just kind of perused through your profile here. Dope images you have, like cool lighting style, and like this looks really cool. You get some really nice high quality images here. And, you get all the requisite stuff. You get a bio, you get your social media links, you got an artist pick, and you got some pretty dope visuals throughout. So, yeah, good job overall. You know, it's not like necessarily something I listen to all the time, but I think it's done pretty well. And I know that I mentioned it could have had some more evolution throughout, and specifically in the percussion because it stayed kind of constant. But that's kind of what that genre does. You mentioned like Depeche Mode. They kind of, I mean that genre of music is kind of just typically stays at the same drum grooves throughout. But yeah, cool track. So next up we got Emilio. I think I remember you. I think you had an awesome acoustic guitar song with some awesome vocalists on it. Oh yeah.
As I walk alone through the subway along this road, and I walk alone every evening to restore my soul. Even though we make mistakes sometimes in this game, our life, and I walk alone again this time till you hear my name. 'Cause something better I want, and something better we'll see. We'll rather love in this world, and we'll be finally free. And I want to hold you again. Just let me show you my love. Just let me know that you're there, and we'll be stronger than now. I want to hold you again. Just let me show you my love. Just let me know that you're there. It's something better when I walk alone to the subway along this road.
Emilio, this is freaking awesome. You had an awesome track that you submitted 2 weeks ago or something, and I don't remember what it's called, but it was one of, you had like a collab track, probably your last one. I don't know, but I freaking loved it. I remember loving it. And this is really good. Also, the last one you had a different vocalist on, and I would guess this is just you on vocals too. And so not only do you have fantastic acoustic guitars, but you have a really good singing voice too. And the production on this is top notch. Like the acoustic guitars are very well done, and the percussion between them sounds really cool. Like it's this kind of somewhat syncopated vibe.
Every evening to restore my soul. Even though we make mistakes.
Like you really created a cool style where you can show off your acoustic guitar skills, but still keep it poppy and catchy. And that's hard to do, right? It's hard to be technically proficient in a song without having it like sacrifice the poppiness of the song. But I think you do a very good job at that. So hella good job on this as well. I really wish I remembered what song it was. I think I added it pretty high. Yeah, there we go. It wasn't True. This was that song. This song was fantastic as well. But yeah, the song you sent, Something Better, fantastic job as well. While I'm talking, I'll say hi to some of you peeps that joined. So I see we got Marie Johns. Got a cool channel you have here. Thank you very much. We got Sky Monroe. Welcome to the party. And we got Sophia Torchia. That's a fun name. Welcome to the stream, as is music. Hey, welcome back. It's been a bit. Because last week last week is the week I skipped. So it's been a hot minute. And then Josh Tice. How's it going, man? Cool. So we're gonna move right along. If you're part of the Patreon and you submit a song during this, just like let me know in the chat, and I'll go right back and skip to your song. We Demand Parachutes. How's it going? As is music. This is a cool atmosphere. Ooh. So, dude, this is, I mean, I know I've heard a bunch of your stuff at this point, but, you know, as usual, fantastic job in the production, awesome sound design. When the synths fully come in, everything sounds huge and well balanced. And the writing's cool, like the atmosphere is super cool. Hold on, I just got caught reading up the chat. The atmosphere is super cool and the vibe's super cool. The only thing, and this is kind of more personal preference for me, is there like instrumental music. When I listen to it, I tend to be very picky with instrumental music. But there's two kinds I listen to. One is the kind of like chill out, kind of like almost background music, or you're doing something else, so you want something to listen to kind of passively. And then there's like active listening where you can like enjoy. And this fits the chill vibe very well because there isn't like a huge ton of like constant changing elements and like vocal lines to follow, but it kind of sets a atmosphere and rolls through. But if someone was listening for like a song for a playlist that was like mixed in with regular EDM music or something, this wouldn't really fit the bill because I feel like it didn't like evolve very fast. It kind of stayed on a part and rolled through it. So personally for me, I don't listen to too much chill out music now. So I felt some parts could have been like shortened, maybe had a bit more evolution. But for that kind of more chill use case of instrumental music, it's dope. Like there's nothing really I would say about it that you could improve. It's really well done. It's just kind of like what kind of vibe music is someone looking for at the moment, I would say. Because on Submit Hub, when people submit to me, I reject a lot of instrumental music for the same reason. But I didn't feel like it evolved or whatever throughout, and because I tend not to share instrumental music like that. But either way, it's super dope track, awesome atmosphere. This artwork is really cool, and I saw some people commenting on it in the chat. I mean, eclipse is a cool word. You got an eclipse in the artwork. This looks really cool. But yeah, great job. I see some stuff going on in the chat. Marie's asking, how do I submit music? A couple people answered, but yeah, you can skip the line via Patreon, just like As Music Says, or you can go to the Twitter as well if you don't want to join the Patreon, and follow the stuff in the description for that. You don't have to use Spotify links. I'll accept Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Dropbox streaming links. I won't download anything basically, so it has to be like a streaming kind of link. And then Mike PM Music Eclipse. I like the name. I like the beat. Yeah, the beat was super cool. You're really good at sound design too. Like the atmosphere is really cool in that. Marie says cool and quite haunting. Yeah. Song takes a lot of unexpected turns. Yeah, it's very like progressive almost, kind of in the way progressive metal or progressive rock kind of has a lot of evolution. This part's really cool. Like, complete left turn off of where it was before. So, yeah. Good job, dude. Thanks for submitting another track. Oh yeah, and you even said here, it combines some ethereal atmospheres with heavy bass drops. Alright, Being next up, we got Big Husk. And by the way, everyone, feel free to drop any questions in the chat as we go. I'm happy to answer questions in between stuff. If you have like music marketing thing, or need some tips with your Facebook ads, whatever, feel free to drop it in.
Nights like this when I can't sleep, lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Nights like this when I can't sleep, lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Yeah. Catch me zooming in the fast car, speeding in the whip, got me racing like it's NASCAR. Coming out of nowhere, haters turn me to a rock star. Far from the end, but little homie, I got that far. Yeah, I got that far. Got a baddie in my whip. When I take a sip, I spit. When I take a shot, don't miss. And I swear I'll never trip. Hit the dab, man, I'm lit. And I'm really filled up. Swear my fans are fly shit, yeah. Nights like this when I can't sleep, lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Nights like this when I can't sleep, lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Yeah. Achieving all these milestones, man, I learned to fly alone. Money in my family, man,
Dude, so first of all, super cool beat. The way the song comes in is super strong. Like, this vibe is just really awesome. It builds really nicely. Now, my biggest critique of this by far is probably the auto-tune. I feel like there's a couple ways you could alleviate this. And the thing that I don't like about the auto-tune is that there's some transition notes that sound like they shouldn't have been there. And I'll point out a few so I can show you what I mean.
No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Nights like this when I can't sleep, lips, I love it.
That let like lips sigh or something at 39 seconds.
Lips, I love it, this whiskey. So I'm trying to get,
And then right there also.
so I'm trying to get lit.
There's a lot of little points where like the auto-tune is kind of like wah, in between things, and you know, there's a lot of different reasons that could be the case. Like, you know, either one, if you record your vocals with the auto-tune in your monitors, you can kind of like perform the auto-tune, so that's one way to fix the problem. The other way is that if you put a tuner in front of your auto-tune, like a manual tuner, like Waves Tune, you can manually pitch correct your notes to make the auto-tune do a certain thing. And then lastly, you could just adjust the tuning on the auto-tune, but that's a little harder to control. So, and you know, specifically the warbles are what I think could be improved. Like, and I know on some end that's this kind of sound is like what's hot right now. But personally, I'm not a big fan of the warbly auto-tune. And like the songwriting is really good, and you do have like a good performance in it. It's really just the pitches that I think you could improve upon, and either like get the notes more dead on, listen to the auto-tune in your headset, use less aggressive auto-tune, or pitch before the auto-tune. Those are kind of the things you could alleviate that. But catchy melodies and your like flow and everything sounds cool, and the beat is really cool too.
Calling another shot, all my haters are it's like this when I can't sleep. Lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Nights like this when I can't sleep. Lips all over this whiskey. Swear I'm trying to get lit, get tipsy. No, when I'm fucking gone, don't miss me. Yeah.
I also think maybe some more layers in the vocals, like do some, what are they called? I guess do some doubles, harmonies, ad-libs sprinkled throughout. Might spice it up a little bit, but overall it's a pretty solid track. You know, literally my biggest critique is just the auto-tune. There's some like warbles and stuff, which is pretty common for me when I hear a song with heavy auto-tune is I critique the if there's any warbles. That's usually my first plan of attack for things to point out. Next up, we got Josh Tice. Processing this video. I guess I'll check back later. Let me know in the chat if you just up. Oh yeah, you just said it. Yeah, so I'll check back to this link after I do a couple more songs. Remind me in the chat if it like finishes processing, and I'll jump to it. Sweet. My voice just cracked. Sweet. Okay. So a bunch of people asked how to submit. So number one is you can go to the Patreon page, link in the description, and if you do, just let me know if you do, and I'll come back to this page because I'm going to be moving on to the hashtag. Gotta love Twitter ads. Basically, use hashtag Music Review Monday, and you'll show up in here, and I'll start going through your reviews in the order that they're submitted. So, yeah. Yeah, well, Josh, I'll come back to your thing. Remind me when it's finished. Cool. So, it's the first one. First up, we got Kieran. Cool. Just saw you in the chat.
I'm sipping, you know what I want. Chilling backstage with a drink and a blunt. Tripping, I'm tripping, the young's in the run. Always the back, never hit from the front. I throw it down like I'm Siva. I shut it out like a sweeper. Yeah, I wanna need her. All my day ones, they'll keep us. Don't want her at all. Lead us, I'm dripping waterfall. See ya if you ignore my calls. Heat us, bitch, I was on the bar. Got it in the bag, I know what I want. Bitches getting mad, I could give a fuck. Now there are seconds in the wave. Back for a field just to my grave. Switched up with the blitz up. Bands up, get your bands up. Right now, need it right now. Right down by the pipe now. First time, by dropping the low. In line to deposit the dough. In time, be the best, yeah, you know. No time, better sell the show. I'ma just do it, then do it again. Wasn't a Buick, now I'm in a bag. You know I'm about to blow up number 10. Might blow a rack in one night cause I can. Racks up, I'm stacked up. Yeah, I'm all in, bitch, I'm balling. This my calling, never falling.
There we go. So this is actually a good point to bring up. So Big Husk, I was just commenting on like the auto-tune warbles. Where's your name on here? Kieran, you don't have those auto-tune warbles. So this is kind of mean like these vocals. I'm going to point out some things I think you could improve on, Kieran. But these you don't have that warbles problem with the auto-tune, and either because you're singing them more tightly or you got your tuning settings a little more on point. But yeah, so you go by Tierson Wes. Pretty cool vibe. It started off a little weird, I thought. Like, this is a cool vibe. When it comes in here.
Sipping, I'm sipping, you know what I want. Chilling backstage with a drink and a blunt. Tripping, I'm tripping, the young's in the run. Always the back, never hit from the.
It felt a little anticlimactic to me. I don't know if maybe you could have had it like when the first drums kick in on the one, like when they officially kick in. There's various ways you could like high pass up to that, or do like a what's it called, a ramp up or swell, or there's a million things you could do, but it feels a little anticlimactic. But in particular, I feel like there was some your vocals sound really good, like the tonality of them and the notes and the singing. And the pitch correction sounds tight, which is good, but the timing of some of the phrases and stuff feels a little shaky.
Got it in the bag, I know what I want. Bitches getting mad, I could give a fuck. Now there are seconds in the wave. Back for a field just to my grave. Switched up with the blitz up. Bands up, get your bands up. Right now, need it right now. Right down by the pipe.
Like it seems like you sound like you did these takes in comps, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, that's what I do at least. I do everything in small chunks so I can get them perfect. But it's like you're coming in and out of these little sections. You'll start a little fast and then a little slow. And you want it to sound like it's all just done in one thing, even if it's not. And this sounds like a bunch of like things that were recorded separately. And there's various things you can do to fix that. One is just to kind of like start singing the part before you're recording the part that you're recording. So like if you're recording this, start your loop a little earlier so you can like come into it, and so that when you overlay them, they're perfectly tight. And then yeah, but in general, pretty solid song. The vocals are good, the melodies are cool, the beat's pretty solid, but the vocal timing, I think, is the biggest thing that you could improve on here. So I would look at that as your first step at what to do on your next song, or if this isn't officially released, then you can go back and fix it. But cool track, nice vibe, nice harp. I think sounds like a harp. Maybe it's a pitched guitar, but unique sound. I don't think I've heard that before in a thing, in a track. Cool. Alright, so next up we got... Oh, there we go. It's last track. Christopher T. The Piano Plan.
When something comes to you naturally.
Oh, the perfect plan.
Something comes to you like if you knew you had to do it. Like if you knew this was for you. You feel it. It comes from deep inside and you know it's right. And that's called a connection. Especially when that happens through music. Especially this music. See, I didn't plan any of this. And those of you out there know that when you either dance or make it to this music, you don't plan it. It comes naturally. And it's with these moments right here, this connection right here, is what makes us perfect and what makes you the perfect plan. Between me and the mind of every track and sound you soak into your skin. And that vibration of music that goes against your chest. With hypnotic vocals, synth-bass sounds, fat kick pumping, beats that keep you moving. Like the way you want it to. Because I've seen and I trained myself to do so. Because I don't make playlists, prepare tracks or songs. I don't because I learned through you, your energy, your vibes, your dance. And that makes me. It makes me. I said it makes me. The perfect plan. I listen, I see, I began. The perfect plan.
So you're definitely going for the house vibe here, right? And I think you do it pretty well. Like the sound design, the production, it's all on point, and it like really goes down that kind of long stretch out house style vibe with big build-ups and long intros and stuff. Now personally, those are all the things that I don't like about house music and why I don't listen to house music. So my opinion's a little wishy-washy in this, right? Because like it's not my favorite style of music to listen to, but I think you're doing well. Now I'll point out why. You can think about, and this will still help you, even if you're going down the house thing, and you obviously are because you have radio versions and like extended mixes, so you're definitely big into the club scene. Long intros are good for like DJs, right? Because they want to be able to sync up tracks, and having the long sections of like 4 in the floor kicks, they can sync up their tracks and they can attach them together more seamlessly, song after song, without worrying about issues. So that's why it's a thing. Now, when I'm listening to music, I tend to not like it because I feel like it's just jump into the track. So that's why I don't listen to a lot of house music. Now, the other thing is I also really don't like talking segments in music. And I know a lot of people like them. Like Josh Tice was like, damn, that intro, the spoken word. When I'm on Submit Hub, like not one of my most common. It's pretty rare actually. But when I have a song that's like the first minute is like talking, I'm just like man, this would kill my playlist, right? If you have the first minute talking. Now if I had a house music playlist, maybe it would make more sense. But so those are my, like, in terms of like pop music and having music do well, unless you're trying to operate in that club space, having long intros and long repeating parts and talking segments makes it a little bit harder to market it, right? But that's kind of what the genre is. So that's my opinion on it. But the production's really good, and the build-ups were cool. And like it's kind of outside my realm of feedback. But yeah, good job. And this is Christopher T. Perfect Plan. So go check them out if you dig them. By the way, I forgot to mention this time. I mention this every week. If you ever want to find something from one of these, if it's on Spotify, it'll be in that playlist that I just put in the chat. It's Music Review Monday playlist. Doesn't get much traffic. It's just like a way for people to find songs. So yeah, thanks for sending that in, Christopher T. I'd consider making, I know that was like a radio mix, but I'd consider making a radio mix that was even more like a radio mix, and seeing if that helps you when you go, like if you're running ads, for example, or you're sending stuff to people on Submit Hub. I would imagine on Submit Hub having very long intros and talking segments isn't doing you a favor. So if you want to try to get both your ads and your Submit Hub stuff more effective, I would consider making your radio versions even more short and concise, like 3.5 minutes or something instead of 4.5. And having them like jump right into the vocals or have them jump sooner to a build-up. And I know that might go against your genre, so you might have to toe the line a little bit. So I saw a question about a bio somewhere. I'm behind on the chat, so Pound 1000. It's a fun name. I saw someone asked how important the Spotify bio was, and I would like to second that question. And then below that, Seb said, I think the bio is important. It's where people go to learn more about you, and if you have nothing, there's nothing to grab the listener. So my opinion on the Spotify bio is have one. And it doesn't have to be fancy, just have one. Have some images, and I'll just pick up who's the last? Christopher T. Let's go to his. He's got some images, so I can immediately know, like, who is this person. I can kind of get to know who he is. And I can see something about him, and maybe some of this makes me get more interested in his story. I can find him on social media, right? That he hits all the boxes. This is what you want to do. If I want to go find and learn more about Christopher T, I can. Multiple places. I got a little backstory. I know who he is. And if I go back to Big Husk, it's the same deal. We got some images. We know that he's played live. We can tell right away just from his style of imagery. He's a rapper, and he's a performing rapper. He's also got some just fun images. And he kind of has an aesthetic going on with all of them, too. And you get a good vibe of who he is, and you can, India Viral Top 50. It's a cool thing to drop. If you have anything cool, you can drop it in the bio, and I can go find more about him. So bios are definitely important. They're not like the most important thing in the world, but everyone should have one. Cool. So I'll go on to the next track here. I just did this one. Seb, next up. There we go.
Face my fears, but I'll tell you what the issue is. Brought it up to the surface, displaced the weight, but still didn't fix it these years. Turned to a blur, could've sworn I just left. Now I've been home in a while. Friends don't talk like we used to, cause we're on different routes or something like that. Damn, dwell in the past. So mundane, I don't wanna react. Try to make it intact. Criticism being pitched, I'm up to bat. Yeah, I'll take my chance, but it's hard to rap. I fell too quick one time, now you never find me attached. Is it someone that could pass with the way that I've been going? I interact with the things I never had. Got my arm in the bag, gotta do what I can. Yeah, I know what I lack. Close to my roots, no amnesiac. I'm out of my element when I'm trapped, and it makes me push away what I thought that I told myself.
Pound 1000. For some reason I thought I did this one. I'll get yours right after this. Sorry I skipped you.
If I loved, slowly building rust. You always quick to judge. Far away. Just gotta disconnect. Don't know where I ran. Nothing I recognize. Whoa. Songs like this and I feel a little vulnerable, uncomfortable, but that's how I learn to grow. Valuable. What it is I believe in is non-negotiable. Better understand that, God forbid if I ever bend out of shape, that I got the people in my life that'll snap me back in my place. I'm going MIA, I'm trying to get away. Don't tell me how to feel, tell me how to yeah. Always look away from the problem. Call me what you want, never been dishonest. Going through life with options, trying to figure out these margins. Moving on with no clarity, yeah, yeah. You're lacking awareness, is very apparent to me, yeah, yeah. Need changing scenery, cause I got delusional dream that no one believes. But I'm going all in and I'm betting on myself, putting on the record. I've been at it for the moment at the level of focus.
Ooh. That was a really cool fast phrase. So, first of all, beat and vibe and atmosphere is super cool. Like, it's got this really intimate vibe, but then the drums still manage to punch you in the face, which is cool. And then, like, you're actually, like, kind of straight up rapping, but then occasionally you'll just hit some notes, and sometimes they'll be really soft and intimate, and sometimes they'll just be just notes, and then they're just kind of seamlessly blended in. So you're actually, like, telling a cool story with not just your lyrics, but with your vocals, which is cool. And the transition to that fast part was just so seamless, and it just worked so well.
Awareness is very apparent to me, yeah, yeah. Need changing scenery, cause I got delusional dream that no one believes. But I'm going all in and I'm betting on myself, putting on the record. I've been at it for the moment at the level of focus. Far away. Just gotta disconnect. Don't know where I ran. Nothing I recognize. Whoa.
I really like the singing on it too. Like, it's very casual singing, but you're not going for this super, like, auto-tuned thing. It sounds very real, organic, all the buzzwords. But it works. It works really well. I like it. I think maybe, like, you could have done some more aggressive compression / limiting to even out the dynamic so that all those little details really come up. But I think that's kind of nitpicking. And yeah, overall I think it's really good. So yeah, good job, dude. Like, subscribe. Seb AKL. Seb Ackle? Seb Ackle? Is it AKI? Seb Ackle. I'll add this song to the playlist, so hashtag Music Review Monday playlist so people can find it. Cool. Alright, thanks, dude. Really cool vibe. It's I'm very picky with, I'm surprisingly, even though I listen to a lot of hip hop on these music reviews, not the biggest, I don't listen to much hip hop. But like this kind of style is something I could listen to more. Like it's much more organic, and it had a lot of cool singing and atmosphere in it. By the way, you know, just shameless self plug. If anyone's interested in my course, I'm gonna up the seat count. I put a limit on it just because I don't want to have like a surge of people and then I can't like process them into the Facebook group. But link in the description, join the Facebook group, or if you want to book me for a consultation, there's a link in the description as well. So yeah. I accidentally skipped over P1K, so I'm going to go back to him. Sorry, P1K. I think I saw you in the chat, and I was like, oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, what? Sorry, I hate how SoundCloud just plays automatically in there. synths are really thick and lush, and I like them. This is a pretty fun vibe, and the production's really cool, the sound design's really cool. I really like the dreamy synths here. And the melody's pretty fun. Like, it's a really fun melody. Like, it's very catchy. And you're like, da 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 da. Like, it's very, very singable. Now, you know, I mentioned this earlier about instrumental tracks. When there's like repeating parts and essentially just long repeating parts and instrumentals, it's easy for people to not want to listen to like this music actively, but more passively. So, you know, marketing this type of music is a little more nuanced. Because the reason I bring that up is because you asked if I were to want ads on this, what would I put in the clip? And it's a little bit harder to market instrumental music than songs with vocals, just because there's way less people that listen to instrumental music than with vocals. So there's a couple ways you could approach it. Like, I'd still try for the Facebook ad route, but you're going to find targeting is a little more complicated than with your, you know, people that are doing like more commercially common music genres like pop and EDM or hip hop. But you can still do it, you know, target Spotify, and I don't know who you would target, but just think of a bunch of artists you think are most similar to this and go with them. I don't know, Boards of Canada, is that too atmospheric? Either way, think of some artists and target them. Now, in terms of what part of the song, I would pick 3 different parts. And if I was doing this, let me pick one. So I'd probably do this. So that 15-second clip there, starting with the da-da-da-da thing. And then let me pick another part. Probably do something in this big ambient break just to give something completely different. Maybe this one, just because it's a little bit different than the first one, but it's still the hook. Because if you have those 3 different parts, basically you're kind of hedging your bets. Like, you have no way of knowing what part's gonna do the best. You might think the hook's gonna do the best, but often that's not the case. With my song Chains, it was verse 2 that did the best, and with someone else's song, in the chat actually. Josh Tice, his what performed best for him was the bridge of the song for one of his songs. So you never know, you know. So try different parts of the song. That's kind of the moral of the story. But it's a cool track overall. Production's great. I don't listen to instrumental music like this. I usually prefer a little more evolution. But this is kind of the more like chill, passive listening type. Like I'd listen to this while I was like working, or something. Or if I heard it. And this would actually work really fun in like a commercial, believe it or not. That kind of hook would work good in a commercial, but solid track. All right, cool. Next up is, let's see, Pound 1000, Seb. Vicious Technique. Did you put this in the Patreon? No. Oh, but we do have another one on the page. I think you're still in the Patreon. Yeah, next time, if you're still, I don't know if you're still a Patreon, I could check, but feel free to post it on this post so that way you get to skip the line. But yeah, I'll do yours, and then we'll get to the other Patreon one. Well, actually, first Josh Tice's thing works, so I'll go to this. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. Counting up, yeah, we counting up. Counting up, yeah, we counting up. No, it's never enough, never ever enough. No, it's never enough, no, never enough. They got us counting up, counting up. They got us counting up, counting up. No, it's never enough, never ever enough. No, it's never enough, no, never enough. Insatiable, like being a eternally thirsty. Waterfront seems easy, only if you were wealthy. But what you don't know tends to leave you just as salty. So when the wave comes in, you need to rise with the sea. Talking like Poseidon, I'm guiding, redefining mine and meaning. I'm shining with elevation of a treasure's finding. Why they pull us down, asking why they in competition. When they love the sound, seems like controlled opposition. So we go around and around now, as at least profit off attrition now. Paying off genocidal killings, drafting use like inscription desks. Counting up, way past the ceiling. See, humanity removing void of feeling as AI is drilling in this age of information full of greed and deception. How much more money, deeds, and bodies should we be stacking up? They got us counting up, yeah, we counting up, yeah, we counting up.
So, dude, I feel like I've given you a lot of the same feedback in different songs. So I hope I don't sound like a broken record, but I'll let you know what I think just on this specific one. The beat sounds super solid, like really good beat, if I remember correctly. And the production's pretty damn clean overall, both in the beat and your vocals. They sound very crispy and up front. I like your vocal style, and I like the kind of raspy tone that you do. The thing that I think you really need to work on the most, and I know that I've said this a couple times, so forgive me, but there's a lot of like timing things throughout that I think could be tightened up, and I'll point out a few of them for you. Right here.
Counting up, yeah, we counting up. Counting up, yeah, we counting up. No, it's never enough, never ever enough. No, it's never enough, no, never enough. They got us counting up, counting up.
So there's a lot of like, there's stuff that's coming in early, there's stuff that's coming in late, and there's words that aren't like staying on the rhythm. And the best way to fix that, and you could already be doing this, so if you're already doing it, I can recommend another one. But I would say, like, if you're not recording to a metronome, record to a metronome. Have the metronome inside your headphones when you're recording to the song, and make sure the song's set to the same tempo, and make sure that it's loud so that you're kind of going to it. And one trick to help that, if you are recording metronome, instead of making quarter notes, especially for some slower hip hop songs, because this could be like, dun, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. You know, whatever the rhythm is, instead having it be to, it's never enough, it's never enough. So that way you have a little more beats to try to line yourself up to. And then if you're still struggling, one thing that I've done is that when I have like a more complicated rhythm that I'm working on, and I don't rap. So first of all, take this with a grain of salt. Rapping's actually surprisingly hard. I've done a little bit of faster parts in songs, and it's like, wow, rapping's harder than people give it credit for. What I'll do is I'll go in the MIDI, and I'll like actually program the MIDI, and then I'll sing along to the MIDI. So that way, like, I have a solid reference I can just follow, and then I'll do it like a bunch of times and go through and through. But yeah, I mean, I know I've said a lot of this stuff before, but solid beat. I really like your vocal sound. You got some cool phrases in there, but the timing is a few songs in a row been the biggest thing I've pointed out that I think you could improve on. So definitely improve the timing. That will take you like a lot further, I think, if you get your timing like dead nuts on, like every single beat, 100% dead nuts on. I think that'll help you a lot. Cool. So Josh was in the Patreon, but we were waiting for his video to process, so we're gonna jump to this, and then I'll jump to Vinicius Barbosa. Vinicius Barbosa. It's a harder one to say, but I think I said it right.
Don't run, just wait and you will see that we are destined to be, if only you remind.
I don't think I need to write you a song to get to my heart, to get to my soul. Baby, don't leave, baby, don't go. Baby, don't leave, baby, don't. And time looks different from another place, and I'll be giving you your space, but damn, I miss that face. And from another love, and from the highs Times look different, but I still feel the same. I wish I knew the difference. I cut off my friends in an instant. Should've listened, should've listened. I told you my lies, I told you my secrets, so there's no surprise. So take it or leave it. Nonetheless, I still feel alive, even though I know something missing inside. Yeah, but you were supposed to be my queen, my mom should eat my dream. You were supposed to leave a legacy with me, yeah. I won't let you forget me that easily, yeah, that easily. Yeah, it's you and me, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't think I need to write you a song to get to my heart, to get to my soul. Baby, don't leave, baby, don't go. Baby, don't leave, baby, don't.
Josh, it always surprises me how diverse your songs are. If you haven't heard Josh before, so a couple songs ago he had this song, which is, I guess I would pop, probably pop, hip hop pop.
In an instant, your shit would be distant. Baby, I'm just a note.
And then this one was like almost Led Zeppelin.
If you wanna be my girl, girl, girl. Sometimes I lose control when I'm on beast mode. Yeah, I'm too cold.
And then this is like, it's giving me, almost like Jack Johnson chill vibes, kind of like acoustic pop, I guess.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't think I need to write you a song to get to my heart, to get to my soul. Baby, don't leave.
Yeah, once again, I know I've said this before, but your vocals are really good. They sound like they're recorded really good, and the writing's very good. Like the main melody's very catchy.
Leave, baby, don't go. Baby, don't leave, baby, don't. And time looks different from another place, and I'll be giving you your space, but damn, I miss that face. And from another love, and from the highs and lows, and it goes on and on and on and on.
I also think in terms of like marketability, this will be easier to do than My Girl, because that one's a little more hybrid. But this one, I think like anyone that's a fan of acoustic pop songs would dig this. But yeah, it sounded really good so far, and you said it's about to be mixed and mastered. It sounds really good so far, and the vibrato in your voice is like a highlight of this song. By the way, the vibrato sounds really good. You have a really fast vibrato, which is unique, so I think that stands out nicely. Sophia brought up a point that I want to talk about, which is a fun topic. Not really, it's not a fun topic. So she said, has anyone else had issues with Audience Network reward? All my ads got placed there and landing page shows click-throughs, but Spotify numbers suggest no one's converting. And yeah, so there's been an issue with the Audience Network lately. I posted a video of my most recent song, Chains, doing extremely well. And I had like 5 or 6 campaigns go very well with automatic placements, which included Audience Network. And then what happened is I had like a campaign tank because of Audience Network. And then one went well with it. And then some people hit me up in my Discord group saying like, something's wrong with Audience Network. And for some reason, Audience Network will occasionally just cannibalize all your results and cause horrible performance. So for the most part, I'd say avoid Audience Network right now. And this is just kind of something that just happened. I don't really know why yet. So until I figure out why or how to get around it, my advice is just to skip Audience Network, or like maybe segregate it, put it in its own ad set and budget restrict it so it can't like cannibalize your entire thing. But yeah, Audience Network is kind of questionable at the moment. But everything else, go with, right now what I'm doing is I'm going with everything but Audience Network. So stories, feeds, Instagram Explore, video feed, network thing, but just no Audience Network, you know. Anyways, good job, Josh. And thanks, Sophia, for bringing that question up. People who are in my course have, you might have seen in the Facebook group today I did a post about it, and that's why I never updated the course to use automatic placements, because I didn't like, I try to keep the course like up to date, but at the same time I don't want to like tell everyone to do something that I haven't proven out over time, if you know what I mean, because I don't want to have people like try something and then all of a sudden have it flop, you know. That's what happened with this. I was just about to make a video update for the course, then all of a sudden people are like telling me like, it's not working. It's not working. I'm like, oh crap. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get it working again in the meantime. But anyways, next we get Vincent Barbosa. Did I already play this? I don't remember. I did.
Yeah, yeah. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she been it. Yeah, she been it, nigga, what she say? Baby, bounce it up. Baby, bounce it down. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she been it. And my mom's call it digits. Yeah, your shorty, yeah, she suck it, but she playing with your feelings. Yeah, she bounce it up. Yeah, she bounce it down. Diamonds frozen on my neck. They just making me drown. Y'all little boys can't compete with a nigga. Can't compete with a nigga. I hold the ground. I hold the ground. Ain't nobody gonna take it from me. I'm minding in the stolo in the Mozzie in the 20 G. Bullets flying around the city, make a movie, make a scene. Y'all niggas lies, got my bullets in the magazine. Your little girl, yeah, she nasty. Yeah, she fucking everybody in my team. Every ready, got a 15 and a 30 in my jeans. In my jeans, yeah, in my jeans. Yeah, we hide the drugs, out the liquor, out the Henny, out the lean. Your mama, yeah, she twerks it up. Yeah, she bust it down like a fiend. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she beating. And my Mozzie call it digits. Yeah, your shorty, yeah, she suck it, but she playing with your feelings. Yeah, she bounce it up. Yeah, she bounce it down. Diamonds frozen on my neck. They just making me drown. Y'all little boys can't compete. Can't compete with a nigga. Hold the ground. One shot in the head, two shots in the chest, one shot in the leg. Got your mama crying all up in the bed. Gotta think it, what is she gon' do? Is she gon' blast it in her head? Cause she all alone, she ain't know what to do. Every day we would try to make it work. Think it to yourself, like what the fuck just happened? I told her I was done, now I'm getting to the magic, to the money. Just stop playing games and bounce on my D like a bunny. Yeah. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she
Man, this that was a roller coaster ride of emotions. Like that comes in hard and then just hits hard just constantly throughout. Let me play the intro again.
yeah. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she been it. Yeah, she
Those vocal effects are super good. The intro is very unique.
been it, nigga, what she say? Baby, bounce it up. Baby, bounce it down. On the gang, I'm never gonna stop. On the gang, I'm always gonna finish. On my mama, yeah, she beat it. And my Mozzie call it digits. Yeah, your shorty, yeah, she suck it, but she playing with your feelings. Yeah, she bounce it up. Yeah, she bounce it down. Diamonds frozen on my neck. They just
A lot of cool vocal effects and ad-libs and stuff throughout this, and like the layering's really cool. I mentioned this a whole bunch. I'm actually surprised people still send me so much hip hop because like I mentioned I don't like actually listen to hip hop music. It's like the only type of music I don't listen to country or hip hop in general. I listen to either like rock and metal or EDM and future based stuff. But every so often I hear hip hop songs that I dig. Like a couple songs ago there was one I really liked, and this one is like it just really hits hard. Like really hits hard, and it's like catchy, like the rhythms really stick in your head, and they're doing a lot of cool vocal layering and stuff, and it's impressive. Like the layering, you can tell there's an enormous amount of attention to detail in this. It's just done really well, and even the video is cool, and it's just like an artwork video, but like you put all these little effects layers on it, and you have parts zoom in and stuff, and it keeps it entertaining enough visually. But yeah, everyone's saying in the chat that they dig it. Doubling's cool. It's very original sounding, and I agree. So, hella good job, KG Music or Vinicius Barbosa. Oh, you produced it. Okay, production's really good as well. Spent all this time talking about the vocals, but you did a really good job processing the vocals, and the beat hit super hard, and the vocalists themselves sounds very very skilled. So hella good job. Like. Actually, let me, I'll throw that in the Music Review Monday playlist as well, and I'll also spam that in the chat in case anyone wants to find anything from tonight. And then we actually get another Patreon. So I was going to jump back to the Twitter, but Patreon one keeps on a rolling. So check out the Spotify one. This is Vinny Vidal. I believe Jill is the business or the manager. I think manager. She's some business side of this artist's aspect. I forget if it was manager or like she's doing the marketing for them or something.
Yeah. 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 Vinny
Yeah, and I saw someone earlier ask about my song Chains. I think it was... I forget who asked. Someone said it way earlier. But then Josh just asked it again. When's your next drop, Andrew? And I don't know. I have a song, another collab track in the works. But I've been kind of slacking on it because I'm working on a Day 4 song, which is going to come out at the end of October. So a Day 4 song, which remember is my like new metal rap rock hybrid project. Working on the new song. So I'm slacking a little bit in terms of my own stuff, but I do have a collab in the works. It'll probably come out in November, so I'm a little behind schedule. But and then I have two or three collabs in the works, so I'm really getting overloaded. Oh, yeah, Tom Platts, you're the one who asked. Yeah, yeah. So I have a track with Mashbit that I'm working on, but I've been slacking because of Day 4. And the Day 4 one is it's the poppiest thing we've ever done. It's probably the softest song we've ever done, but it's going to be a cool way to bring the project back to life. And if you want to know where it is, I'll come back to the song in a sec. So the song's not out yet. It's probably going to come out at the end of October, but look up Day/4. And you can check. We came out with an album. I'm only on Balance Restored. They had some stuff out before me with this project, but Balance Restored and all these singles I'm on. So check that out if you're interested. But then, yeah, I have a project with Mashbit I'm working on, but it's falling on me. I'm just falling behind. And then I have another track, and Tom Platts has been hitting me up via email, but I've been slacking on replying to him. But he sent me a dope track that I'm going to be working on after that one. So I've just been a little overwhelmed lately. But yeah. Anyways, let's jump back to Vinny Vidal. And Jill, I see, replied. Yes, hey again, manager and marketing. So she's the manager and marketing person.
Yeah. 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 Vinny Vidal. Vinny Vidal. I'm rolling late night speakers knocking, making money moves. Everything I touch, it turn gold. I'm 100 proof. Destiny, my dreams and my goals. What I'm running to got greatness in my veins. I'm too driven when I'm coming through. Rolling late night speakers knocking, making money moves. Everything I touch, I turn gold. I'm 100 proof. Destiny, my dreams and my goals. What I'm running to got greatness in my veins. I'm too driven when I'm coming through. If my pockets feeling tight, I'm grinding just to fill them up. My boss and spend a day with me, just come see how I live it up. Passing up the people who thought I wasn't thinking big enough. Vinny, yeah, collar shots, CEO, executive. White girl like me, but next to me, I call her Bobby Doll. And she bout the paper, money moves is all we talk about. Focused on no hater, I won't give them none to talk about. Cause all I see is digits, I get money, so they stalking now. Gripping life right by the neck, like listen, this what's going down. I'm up in levels, climbing up the charts, not here to joke around. Do this for the fam and my brothers, cause they hold it down. We gon' make it all, my future bright, I know I'm trophy bound. Free game, fill their heads with it through this music. When you listen, let it soak, then go apply it and go use it. They look up to me, they like how I maneuver. I'm a truest, I'm a trendsetter, natural born leader with influence. And I'm rolling late night speakers, knocking, making money moves. Everything I touch, it turn gold. I'm 100 proof. Destiny, my dreams and my goals. What I'm running to got greatness in my veins. I'm too driven when I'm coming through. Rolling late night speakers, knocking, making money moves. Everything I touch, I turn gold. I'm 100 proof. Destiny, my dreams and my goals. What I'm running to got greatness in my veins. I'm too driven when I'm coming through. I had to go through struggles just to get to where I'm at today. Felt like I couldn't trust the soul. Feelings, they was locked away. Life was in a rocky state. Grand Canyon type of place. Plan to have my life arranged. Mini mansion, diamond chain. When I get that Lamborghini, I'ma park it by the range. Rover in my parking lot. Name on my pocket spot. Wise man said, talk is cheap, so I don't talk a lot. But still I pay attention. My peripheral don't caught a lot. I'm glad I'm still standing. And the praise I give it all to God, cause
this is super good. I don't know if Vinny's watching this. I know Jill is because she's in the chat. But track's super solid. The vocals sound top notch. The beat sounds really good. The flow's good. The lyrics, I heard some cool lines in there. There's nice doubles. Everything about the music I think is very solid. And I think the branding's pretty on point too. I think last time I saw your YouTube channel, this time I'm seeing the Spotify. And like super nice presentation here. Like very on brand. Very, very, very on brand here. Like all of this. You're giving this very like high class professionalism. Not professionalism, but like rich vibe. With this and with all these images. And it comes across in the music too. Like money moves and the vibe of the song just has that kind of feel. So great job, Jill, on I don't know if you had an influence in the branding and the I guess yeah, the branding and the visualization of the artist, but if so, you did a good job. And everything about the music's on point. In terms of the marketing, what I'll point out, you get a lot of monthly listeners, or you get a good amount of monthly listeners, but you don't have any followers. And I wonder if you're focusing a lot on playlist-based promotion. Like if I click these, you know, some of these could be playlisters. And typically you get on these things by submitting to like a music curation network. And those tend to give very low follow rates. So just a tip, if you're doing a lot of playlist promotion, usually like high monthly listeners, low amounts of followers is caused by playlist promotion. If you run ads instead, the price you pay per like listener is higher with ads, but they stick around longer because they save the songs and they follow you. So there's kind of the trade-off between playlists and Facebook ads, right? Like playlist, super cheap cost per stream in terms of marketing, but super expensive long-term listener. Facebook ads, way more expensive cost per stream, but much more likely to trigger like Release Radar, Discover Weekly, get followers, have saves, lots of user playlists. So Joe, I would recommend if you're doing more playlisty stuff, switch over to more Facebook ads. At least trying to do some Facebook ads for one song. Just one song. Just stick with just Facebook ads and see how it goes. And I think you'll be persuaded to the world of Facebook ads. And Josh Tice brought up a good question. What if you do both playlists and ads? And he said, or will that hurt the algorithm? And it kind of... So I've had this happen where people have actually screwed over their song's long-term performance by using playlist promotion. In particular, like someone got their song in a bunch of big playlists, and it was giving them a lot of streams, which is great, but people were essentially listening once and then never again, and they were getting almost no saves from it. They had like a 5% save rate, and they were like, is my song screwed from getting a big Release Radar push? And I'm like, kind of. Like, you're kind of Release Radar. Like, eventually the playlist will dump you and then you can promote again, but then you can't get on Release Radar after 4 weeks. So doing both, like, you can do both, but you have to kind of like control the balance between them. Meaning, like, if I'm spending $400 on Facebook ads for a song, I might spend $20 on playlist promotion through like Submit Hub credits. And that way I'll get on some playlists and it'll kind of push the stream count up, but it won't even make a dent in the Facebook ad traffic. So it gives me a little bit of a boost without hurting the performance of the song. If you only spend like $200 in Facebook ads, but you spend $600 in playlist promotion through something like Playlist Push, the Facebook ads is not going to be able to recover the analytics side of it. It's not going to be able to make your save rate or your listen rate or your follow rate high enough to compensate for all those playlists. So that's the balance. If you want to try to use both, you can, and I do. It'll be like 95% Facebook ads for me and like 5% or something Submit Hub credits. But I don't really go harder than that. In 2019, I did a lot of playlist stuff, and I never had good results with just playlist stuff. Like I did a playlist push campaign, and I was not happy with it myself. And I know plenty of people with the same thing. Playlist push is a legit service, just like Submit Hub. But you gotta understand kind of like when to use each of them. I think Playlist Push is good for labels. Like they're gonna spend 10 grand promoting a song, mostly with Facebook ads, PR, and they're just screw it. Let's put like 1,000 towards Playlist Push. Like that's why I think when Playlist Push makes the most sense. But for independent artists, I think Submit Hub makes a lot more sense. And Facebook ads, do way more Facebook ads than any kind of playlist promotion. So, yeah. Cool discussion, though. Jill, let Vinny Vidal know that we all like his song. And he has dope music. Let me check if there's anything here before I move back to the Twitter. Oh, there is. Cool. All right. We're heavy on the Patreon stuff tonight, guys. This is cool. The Patreon, maybe it's because I skipped a week, so everyone just has songs ready. So you get 10 points or 10 stars for originality here. Like I don't think I've ever heard anything like that ever. So like totally unique in terms of whatever I've heard. Someone said Tyler vibes. I like it. Tyler the Creator. I don't think I've ever listened to his stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to play it now because this video will just get immediately deleted by the copyright ninjas. Yeah, because every time I do one of these, I get caught like 5 copyright, not flags, but like I forget what they call them. But anyways, so yeah, I'm not going to do that. Or the copyright police will come in. But anyways, yeah, someone said like this is Pink Floyd, and then it's super unique. I don't even know what to say. It's just it's so different from any previous musical experience I've heard. It kind of gives me that like atmospheric, ethereal, psychedelic Pink Floyd vibe, you know? And Spiritual said that they just hop out of the box. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I don't even know what to say. Like, I mean, it sounds like production-wise very clean, and there's some crazy sound design happening, and the voice effects and stuff are just panning around and jumping everywhere. I don't know how the marketing's gonna go with this. Maybe it'll be good because it's so unique, but I don't know what you would market this to because it's so unique. So I wish I had more to say. It sounds like it's well done, but it's just so experimental. It's kind of like anything I would say, it almost wouldn't apply because it's experimental. So yeah, good job. And again, it's not my cup of tea. Someone said Tyler vibes, and so I'm guessing it sounds like that. I think I've heard some of his songs. I don't think I have though, and maybe they do this kind of style. So maybe if you market it towards that audience, then maybe it would go well. But like super unique. Also, you're really like you're setting a vibe here. Like it sounds like you really have a message with this, which is cool. But not only do you have a message with that, it really fits your brand. Like you got this name that's completely like unique. Your images are like you have a purposely out of focus image, which is kind of like on brand for the very unique sound. And you get these very unique images. Like this one your eyes closed. This one you're in front of a bunch of balloons. So you're definitely going for the out there kind of vibe. So good job. You know, I wish I had more to say. But 5 stars for originality for sure. Arkle Johnson. Arkle. And you even said one of my experimental songs. So yeah, definitely experimental songs. Like wow, that was unique. Definitely does. It reminds me of like hip hop mixed with Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, psychedelic Pink Floyd hip hop, but not even hip hop. It's actually really not hip hop. Psychedelic, modern Pink Floyd. Cool. All right. So next up, we're going back to the Twitters. Vinicius Barbosa said M83 has something similar. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think I've listened to some M83, but apparently not enough. I think just like a couple of popular songs. You're going to have to check out Pink Floyd. You never heard Pink Floyd? Maybe I'm getting old already. No, I mean, they're before my generation too. But yeah, check out Pink Floyd. I think everyone should listen to some Pink Floyd. Even if you don't like, I'm not really a Pink Floyd fan, but everyone I feel like should listen to, like, well, probably Dark Side of the Moon at the very least. They kind of changed music, like defined the current genre of like rock and progressive rock and stuff like that. Tom Platts, good night, Tom Platts. Have a good one. Wolfhard FBS, hey, how's it going? Cool. Next up is Louis Dead.
See, this is the thing.
How we go from rockin' cool to motherfucking stages. I don't know what day it is, I think I'm way too famous. I tell her that the life I live, this shit is getting dangerous. Paparazzi taking pictures, man, this shit is crazy. I've been going through some shit, I'm talking about these phases. When I'm off the molly, man, this shit is so amazing. If you really love me, baby, tell me, can you save me? Love it when I get like this, but tell me that you hate me. Tell me that you hate me, baby, I hate you. Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you. You know that the only thing I care about is money. Tell me, baby, why you keep on saying that you love me? Tell me that you hate me, baby, I hate you. Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you. You know that the only thing I care about is money. Tell me, baby, why you keep on saying that you love me? When she off the molly, she keep saying that she love me. If she fall in love, I know that this shit could get ugly. I told her that I only love my syrup and my money. I think that I took too much molly, cause my mind is running. I've been living my life out in seasons out in Malibu. Baby, I'm into drugs, I'm not really into you. I don't wanna break your heart, I'd rather go buy Prada shoes. It's like every time I get like this, you catch your fucking attitude. Tell me that you hate me, baby, I hate you. Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you. You know that the only thing I care about is money. Tell me, baby, why you keep on saying that you love me? Tell me that you hate me, baby, I hate you. Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you. You know that the only thing I care about is money. Tell me, baby, why you keep on saying that you love me? Every time I leave the house, I'm always off another drug. Baby, if you wanna fall in love.
This video is super cool. Someone in the chat was like, single shot video. I think they're just doing clever transitions to make it look like it's single shot. But the video is very good either way. Like a very kind of cinematic feel. Like it does look like it's almost one shot. So good job on that. The beat's really good and the production's really good. I think the beat could have used some mix up. Like it sounded at a point it started to sound very constant. And on one hand, like the vocals are kind of like you're always at this like na 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 na, and you mix up the rhythm a bit, but you kind of always stay in that na 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 kind of note range. I think it'd be cool if you move the notes around a little bit, either actually when you're singing it or through like pitch correction, pitch shifting them up and down to make like a melody out of them. But yeah, I mean, overall it's cool. I personally, I'm not a big fan of super aggressive auto-tune sounds because I don't like transitions like this.
Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you.
See that when you said baby?
Baby, I can't take you. You can't take this, baby, I can't take you. I hate you. Tell me you can't take this, baby, I can't take you. You know that the only thing I care about is money. Tell me, baby, why you keep on saying that you love me. Tell me that you hate me, baby, I hate you.
There's a couple moments where it kind of warbles and stuff. And I don't usually like the warbliness, but I realize that it's kind of the hot sound right now. But either way, pretty cool song overall. Really nice looking video. And the vocal flow is very nice. I just think the pitch shift, the auto-tune could have been a little tighter. Maybe actually the correct word is less tight. Maybe the auto-tune could have been slower so that you get less crazy warbles and stuff. But good job overall. Except we got Bad Love. Oh yeah, and Dennis Fang in the chat has said, hey Andrew, what are your thoughts on targeting genres and artists? I actually sometimes do target genres, and sometimes I'll launch my campaigns with genres, so I always will do some artists. But like, for example, when I was marketing chains, I think I started with like Justin Bieber as one I'd set, Ed Sheeran as another, and Chainsmokers as another, but then I just targeted pop music for another one. And I think pop music ended up being the best, so don't be afraid to target genres as well as artists.
Closing the door, no, I'm not thinking about the past no more. I'm all the way through. Unless it's me and you, baby, it simply won't do. If you can try to hold on before the sun sets, I'll hold you all night long. It's more than just some sex. So say, honey, have you ever come close to being this high before? I'm running. I've been running so fast, can feel my feet on the floor. Right with you in the backseat like it's New York. I called an Uber, not a taxi. I'm not really sure of where we're going. All that I see is you don't need more than just to see you back in my sheets, closing the door, the door. With 1,000 different things on my mind, you seem to stick out when you smile, laugh, or need a good cry. No, I can't miss out. There's a part of me that wasn't alive before I met you. I just didn't think it needed revived until you said you did it. Feel my scars until they press against you. The exact same ones are burning right beneath you. And baby, you're on fire. Yes, I can feel the heat. You say you can't control the flames contained to you and me. So let it burn and burn onto the streets. And we can light the city up as soon as our lips meet. So say, honey,
This chorus is so catchy.
you ever come close to being this high before? I'm running. I've been running so fast, can feel my feet on the floor. Right with you in the backseat like it's New York. I called an Uber, not a taxi. I'm not really sure of where we're going. All that I see is you don't need more than just to see you back in my sheets, closing the door. No, I'm not thinking about the past no more. I'm all the way through. Unless it's me and you, baby, it simply won't do. If you can try.
So like literally the only piece of feedback, well, sorry, not the only piece of feedback, the only thing I think you could improve on feedback-wise is in the verses, I feel like the auto-tune could have been less intense, like slower response times, or just not have any auto-tune, just do manual. In the choruses, the auto-tune I think was perfect because it just had the transitions be a little snappier, but it still let your vibrato really shine in the end of some of those tails. Aside from that, chorus super catchy, guitar vibe was super cool, really good vocals, really catchy song, like really good song. I liked it a lot actually. I'm gonna add it to my songs to walk your dog to playlist. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, good job, dude. I liked it a lot. Like, genuinely, really liked it. Patreon broke. I'm on Twitter anyways. I just forgot about that. But yeah, good job, dude. Next we got up Jack V, maybe Jack Vi, Jack V, Jack Vi, Jack V, Jack Vi, Jack V, Jack Vi.
Ran back while I watched this burn. I told my mum that I know that it hurts. Swear one day I'll put it in a verse. I will show you how I felt when I'm digging in the dirt. I think about all the people I know, all the words that I felt. Do you read what I sober? We walk in the clouds and we think that we're free. When it all comes down, are you ready for the blows?
I walk around, everybody looks cold as ice. It's like they hold a knife, it's like the Walter White. It's like a poltergeist to come and grab you. Tell me how you manage when you're dealing with the damage. It's only gonna take a second, you're living with a fallout. What I really wanna know is it possible to fall down when you find that you land on the floor and you don't wanna deal with the pain from the storm. And I swear that I wrote what I felt was the truth, but I tried not to lie and I know that it hurts. I spend most of my time in the booth. If we try to survive, then I know that it's worth every line that I wrote, every word that I find, every light in the night and the dark in the sky, all the right in my life and the things that I like, all the fear that I have that will kill me inside. But I told myself that I was stronger than this. Now I feel like I've lost my shit. I kind of felt like I don't know why. I would look up in the sky and I say that I'm fine when I'm not. And I feel like I'm lost in a maze. I'm lost in a grave, I forgot what to say. Then I pick myself up again. I stand back, you are not my friend. I still remember that I found myself at the bottom of a bottle. Now I need some help, then I wrote this down. But if I keep it to myself, then I know that I'm destined to drown. If I take this back, then it doesn't really matter what I wrote when I felt like I'm trapped. What if I don't snap? And what about all the time that I waste? Do I get that back? I think it's fine if I'm left on my own. I can't trust all the people I know. I felt down when I'm...
So Jack V, man, the production on this was like perfect. Like awesome little transition effects and little atmospheric things, and everything sounded super clear. The mix and the master was great. The vocals sound super crisp and in your face. The words are all evenly done. And the flow of the vocals was very good, and some of the phrases were very good. And you have you obviously have an accent, like I don't know if it's like a British accent or something. I'm bad with accents, especially when singing. It's hard to tell what accents, but like it really makes you sound like unique. Maybe it's because I hear so many just I guess American rappers that when I hear like someone with a different accent, it's refreshing. And sometimes it's a bad thing, right? Like sometimes you hear an accent and it's like, yeah, I don't like that. But this you really make work for you in a way. And obviously to some extent you don't have control over this, but like it just works super well for some reason, and I can't point out why. So yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot. And I've mentioned I'm not big into songs that are just straight up rapping all the way throughout, but the production on this was really stellar, and everything sounds super clear. So good job. Good artwork here. That looks dope. Good branding up here. That looks dope. And you also got some cool live images here. I think I've heard your stuff before. But yeah, good job. Wolfhard FBS, do you ever show your music on stream and you love it all? Yeah, I have sometimes. When I have something new coming out, I'll share it. And earlier I mentioned that I do have a new song coming out with Day 4 in probably the end of the month. So I'll show you a little bit of what Day 4 is in case anyone's curious. I'm doing the singing on this. I'll fast forward a little bit. Yeah, this project was really cool. So originally this started when some guys hit me up, and they were like, "We need a vocalist. We're from San Francisco, and we worked on the song online for like a year, this album." And then they flew me out to San Francisco to record in like a world-class studio for a week, and it was a super good time. And then I came out with it, and now we're working on new stuff again. But yeah, it was a super cool experience. The next stuff's gonna be even better. But yeah, it was super fun, and we did a super unique style.
DJ replay, better play it all. Then I skated off all through the city fall.
Dog.
Said we ready for the big time. I got a melody to head it right. Dude, point me to the dotted line. You got the pen, cause I got the sign. We be to rock like he be to lock. We be to rock like he be to lock. We be to rock like he be to lock. Open the door and hop out of the box.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, so spiritual, yeah, it's me singing. We have a rapper that does the rapping, so I'm doing all the singing and screaming and stuff like in this. Anyways, it's a cool project. Go check it out. I'm very excited about getting back into it. Thanks for bringing that up, full frame FPS. If anyone's into it, check out Days/4 and follow, because hopefully in this month we'll be back in action. A little poppier for the first one, but then we're getting back into the heavy stuff shortly thereafter. We're gonna get back into songs every 6 weeks or so. Cool. So I checked out Jack V. Next we got Fabio Guapo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh, Brandon Share, you've been practicing screaming. Yeah, it's hard. Screaming's a... That's how I got my start on YouTube, teaching screaming lessons. I think I made my first 5,000 subscribers in screaming lessons. It's a hot in demand topic. Like, people ask me for videos for it now still, but I just kind of got bored making content about it. But yeah, screaming, it takes a lot of trial and error. Like, I still practice it regularly, but like it took me like a couple of years of trial and error to figure it out, basically, mostly because of fear.
She gon' drink the whole bottle till she pass out. Long night, green Sprite, waking up and up no doubt. She tryna fuck for the clown, no time, just want the mouth. She want coke, big snout, big pockets, no drug. She gon' drink the whole bottle till she pass out. Long night, green Sprite, waking up and up no doubt. She tryna fuck for the clown, no time, just want the mouth. She want coke, big snout, big pockets, no drug. Long night, bad bitch, shaking ass up on the pole, shooting hundreds at that bitch as my roll. Good head, she sucking up my soul. Can't love no whole heart, too cold, yeah, it's fro. Petty bitch, arguing that she asking for a rose. Not how life works, you know how it goes. Made $500,000 at my last show, then I pass it to my main bro. Then I pass it to my main bro. We can't fuck with no hoe, that's how it goes around here. Bel Air, we ain't sipping no beer. Full Louis V gear. Guess I'm just the man of the year. She gon' drink the whole bottle till she pass out.
So the beat super. Wow, it's almost over. Wow, this is a short song. The beat is super good. It's hard. The vocals, like, you're doing some cool phrases and stuff, but I feel like there were some timing things and you're not enunciating enough. And this is something that I struggle with when I'm recording. Like, it's hard to like enunciate enough where people can hear what you're saying, because there's various parts in here where I find it hard to understand what you're saying.
A long night, green Sprite, waking up and up to no doubt. She tryna fuck for the clown, no time, just want the mouth. She want coke, big snout, big pockets, no drug. She gon' drink the whole bottle till she pass out. Long night, green Sprite, waking up and up to no doubt. She tryna fuck for the clown.
Actually, your timing's pretty on point. I think really, I think there were a couple moments, maybe the timing wasn't tight, but it was mostly like out of breath timing transition parts, which is more acceptable. Mostly just the what's the word I'm looking for? Enunciation. It's hard to hear what you're saying. Maybe some doubles and harmonies would spice it up too. So I'd look into that. But overall, pretty solid. Also, like a minute 25. Like, this is becoming more and more common nowadays to get minute 25 songs. Like for me, this is a demo. This is not a full song. And I realize it's a full song. Like it's like nowadays it's becoming more common to do this, and I'm not a fan of super short songs like a minute 25. To me, that feels like it feels like you didn't want to. You ran out of ideas and you couldn't finish the song, and now you're just releasing it anyways. And that may not be the case. Like you do have a couple different verses and choruses in here, but I don't know. I don't know if the world is ready for a minute 25 to be the new song length yet. At least I'm not. Cool. But yeah, I mean your voice sounds good. I think the enunciation is your biggest thing, and like the flow is really good, and you're like rapping on beat really nicely, and cool lyrics and stuff too. But I couldn't understand a lot of them, so that goes back to the enunciation thing. Vinicius Barbosa, Andrew, have you heard about the Zen of Screaming? Yes, I've actually made a lot of videos about Melissa Cross and the Zen of Screaming, and I think Zen of Screaming, Fry Screaming, Power Fry. I forget what you have to search for it. Somewhere in there, so if you search it up, I come up. I don't know where. Power Fry Screaming. Yeah, I mean, so I got a lot of screaming videos. Certain keywords I'll still pop up for number one, because this used to be like all I did. Like that's me 5 years ago. So basically I made videos talking about how the Zen of Screaming isn't really the best way to learn how to scream. Because like while Melissa Cross does scream right, the way that she teaches it led to a lot of people doing it wrong. Not in the way they'd hurt themselves, in the way they wouldn't do it hard enough. And that's why I have this high scream versus fry scream thing a lot in my older videos. So yeah, that's one thing. And if you're ever interested in some very cringy content, you can go listen to my older videos of me teaching screaming lessons. I was just so much younger, going back like a decade now. But there's some good tips in the Zen of Screaming, but in general, like I don't know, I feel like it doesn't. It didn't hit the marks, because I get both Zen of Screaming 1 and 2. The Zen of Screaming 2 is a lot better, but it didn't hit the marks I was hoping it hit. Slacker Man. Like, I'm not the biggest fan, but I think it's really just the style. Like it's hard for me to get into instrumental music, and I've said this a couple times on tonight's stream. Instrumental music, I tend to be a lot pickier with it, and this sounds almost like I don't know. Hold on, let me click play again. It's got like a spy movie kind of vibe. It's like funky and got that kind of like chromatic falling thing. It kind of reminds me of like a spy movie. And maybe you're going for that. You're going for the style, and that's totally cool. But it's not my favorite style. Now, putting that aside, we can go to the more objective stuff. The recording of everything sounds pretty good. I don't know if you're using a real saxophone, or is that a saxophone? But either way, a lot sounds good with it, but the mix sounds a little bit muddy, in my opinion. I think there's a little bit too... Tyler Gunn said porno James Bond music. Yeah, it does have that spy vibe, but there's a little bit muddy. So this is kind of the objective side. It feels a little bit muddy, and yeah. So it's hard to point out like just by hearing it, but I'd like if you look at your frequency overlap between somewhere around the 200 to 400 range, or perhaps the 600 to 800 range, you'll probably find overlap between like the bass and the guitars and a bunch of other instruments, and you probably need to cut some of them. Just notch out a frequency and see how it sounds. And you probably need to do that all over the place. Like, I think you have too much low end in some places and too much mid-band frequencies in some other ones. Yeah. But the style, like, yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm a little picky with instrumental music. I think if you cleaned up the mix, you know, it's more that, like, I'm not into the style than anything. Cool. Next up, we're up to Jay Sancy. That was a cool video effect.
And I ain't never had it all. Had a couple falls. Wanna walk the walk, but now I'm learning how to crawl. Really wanna flex, but now I'm learning how to ball. Really wanna, now I'm learning how to. And I ain't never had it all. Had a couple falls. Wanna walk the walk, but now I'm learning how to crawl. Really wanna flex, but now I'm learning how to ball. Really wanna, I ain't never had it all. But I know I got me, and that's all that I need. Relying on myself to get up and go succeed. Working every day so you won't find me in them streets. Had to change my ways before I got in way too deep. I put in all that work, I put in all that time. You were my motivation to stay focused and grind. You used to have my back, but then you went behind it. Don't know what to say, so now we're sitting here in silence. Sitting here in silence, I'm losing my mind. No, I cannot seem to find it. Sitting here in silence, I'm losing my mind. No, I cannot seem to find it. And I ain't never had it all. Had a couple falls. Wanna walk the walk, but now I'm learning how to crawl. Really wanna flex, but now I'm learning how to ball. Really wanna, now I cannot seem to find it. And I ain't never had it all. Had a couple falls. Wanna walk the walk, but now I'm learning how to crawl. Really wanna flex, but now.
On the first chorus, I was going to say something about the vocals could have been like louder or more flattened, but here they actually sound good, and I wonder, so they sound like they're doubled here. Were they doubled in the first one?
Used to have my bag, but then deep, I got me. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, don't know what to say, so now we're sitting here in silence. But then find me in them stores, but I know I got me. Now I'm learning how to ball. Really wanna.
Okay, they're doubled there. Yeah, in the
Streets had to change.
I think maybe the vocals overall need a little more squashing, like compression and limiting, because I think the verses, like when you're doubled, everything sounds like nice and full, but when you're in these single parts, they get a little thin, and maybe it's just because they get quieter in some words. At least that's my first guess. But overall, this is a pretty sweet vibe, like really nice vibe musically. I really appreciate that you didn't abuse your auto-tune here. Like, you're using pitch correction, but it sounds tasteful. And there's no warbles, right? And nothing against people that use auto-tune, just is kind of my preference.
My ways before I got in way too deep. I put in all that work, I put in all that time.
Like, you're definitely using a fast auto-tune, but there's no like jumpy warbliness that happens so often. So either you nailed the pitches a little tighter or you edited them out, which is good. Yeah. The video is really good. It's very unique. Like, this kind of thing isn't what you normally see. But I think it gives it kind of a nice personal, like, indie touch, right? Like you're an indie artist and you're making this video yourself, and you even said this is the first video you ever edited, and I think you did a great job, especially for your first video. You made a real music video. You made a freaking real music video, and that should not go understated. Like, you actually went out, you got someone to film you, which is a lot harder than you'd guess. Like, just to act natural on camera, like, this guy probably thought you were a weirdo, right? Like, you're just filming in some convenience store. So it takes a lot of balls to go out and just film in a strange location like that. Go to a convenience store, filming your friend grabbing a can of Arizona, and then go up to the register. This guy's probably like, what the hell are you doing? You're like, I'm shooting a music video, act natural. Right? So kudos to you for actually making a real music video. It's especially like this with another person involved.
So now we're sitting here silent.
But yeah, overall, I think the music's really good and the video's really good. I was gonna say the guitars maybe were a little muddy, but I think they really just have that kind of somewhat lo-fi vibe. So I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it detracts enough from the song. Like, if I was doing this, I might have cut some of the mid-band frequencies out of I'd cut some of the mid-band frequencies out in the guitars, but maybe not, because it's kind of going for that lower five vibe thing, where they're very... Basically, when someone says lo-fi, I tend to think of a little bit of saturation and cut off the high frequencies. Like, you can fake lo-fi anything, because when you run something through a tape, it's kind of cutting off the high frequencies, and it's kind of adding a little bit of warbliness and saturation on it, in general, you know. But, yeah, good job, dude. And Jay Sancy said, exactly what I did. Just walked in and asked if I could film for 30 seconds. Yeah, that's scary. It's scary to do, because the guy's probably like, okay, sir, you're a musician making a music video in my convenience store. Cool. You know, but it takes a lot of, it's kind of like scary to do that, which is why I've never really done that. Or I find it weird even to ask someone to film me. It's just kind of, eventually I'll get to it. But I haven't wanted to do that yet. Good job, dude. Thanks for sending in another track. Next we got Levi Cash. Levi Cash? I was very confused for a sec.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If you know me, I've been bustin'. Made something out of nothing. A nigga low key. I ain't saying nothing, but if you talking money, you can find me in discussion. If you know me, I've been bustin'. I made something out of nothing. A nigga low key. I ain't saying nothing, but if you talking money, you can find me in discussion. With the lick read, it could be Henny or a cup full of Pimp C. I mix it with the Simply. Ray-Ban shades darker than my 10-speed. I'm just tryna have some fun. I'm tryna mingle and I'm single as 101s. Yeah, I'm talking bands. Gotta give the drummer some. Say she got that pussy out the league. That's that one and done. Bitch, you know I pulled up in a spaceship, looking like I'm Anakin. Fresh up in this bitch, looking flyer than a mannequin. New bitch, Barbie doll, straight up out the packaging. New coupe, it's the same color as a napkin. Know me, I've been bustin'. Made something out of nothing. A nigga low key. I ain't saying nothing, but if you talking money, you can find me in discussion. If you know me, I've been bustin'. I made something out of nothing. A nigga low key. I ain't saying nothing, but if
This is a really cool beat. One thing I don't like about the beat is the little like pluck things in the background. They're a little bit atonal, meaning that they have more than one note attached to them. So it's very like, it's clashing a lot with, I think, your voice and maybe also with the sub, because they're kind of in a different key. In general, like your flow's good and the beat hits hard, but like there's some kind of atonality about the those little plucks.
I'm just tryna have some fun. I'm tryna mingle and I'm single as 101s. I ain't saying nothing, but lazy eye. Go ahead and hate me, try. I tell your baby slide, backstroke, in and out, eat
get it like crazy fries.
But your voice sounds good and you have a good flow. I think your voice could have been louder though. That rhymed. But yeah, I think your voice could have been louder, and I think it would help them stick out more from that atonal stuff that's happening in the background. And if you maybe boost the high end a little bit so they kind of sound in your face and crispy, I think those would be the biggest things I'd point out. Like vocals louder, turn down the atonal, kind of pluck things a little bit, because the beat hits hard, your flow's good, and I think that'll kind of emphasize the positives of the song. Obviously, it's already out, but future reference for a future song. Jay Stancy said, Andrew, it's dope that you focus on the little factors of making videos and music. Most people wouldn't even think of having to walk in and ask them to shoot. I love your attention to detail. Yeah, I think it's just because I'm thinking of what it would be like to do that myself, and I'd be like, man, I'd have to ask a friend of mine to shoot me doing a certain thing that I pre-planned, and that's awkward as hell, because I'm going to have to like lip sync while my friend just films me lips. I just think if I were to ask like a friend of mine or like girlfriend or something to do that, it'd be like super awkward. Like one time I when we were in San Francisco, actually in a couple places I've had my girlfriend take pictures of me, and the first time I was super weirded out about it, having her take pictures of me. It's just weird. It's weird, right? It's a weird thing to ask. Hey, can you snap some pictures of me for my social media? You kind of feel like like a kid or something, right? Instagram kind of thing. Just feels weird to do, especially when you're lip syncing to something. Brandon Share. I don't know if I've ever said that right.
If you try to listen, all they say, the people who are killing keep getting paid. And with the things we're given from day to day, he makes all decisions but shows no face. So help them, this cannot go on. They just need some grace, so just share with someone. And I know the show must go on. But how can you continue knowing their life is gone? So tell me why you're the good ones get the worst now. So tell me why you're the good ones get so hurt. So tell me. So tell me. So tell me. The good people deserve better, but the less we know, then the better. They can take our control, but they can't take our soul. Post-traumatic stress getting straight through my head. I'm getting all these visions I can't forget. I saw her in the kitchen, I thought she's dead. But then she told me, listen, just getting rest. Well, wake up, you know what's ahead. Please don't let them eat you, now you'll show them instead. And I know you have to forget the problems that we know that are indefinite. So tell me why you're
This is a super. I was trying to think of like what this reminds me of. It almost reminds me of like 9 Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson, but at the same time, it's got a kind of like, almost poppier vibe, because both of those artists are very dark, right? I mean, Nine Inch Nails has a lot of different stuff, like ranging from pop to like heavy industrial metal. And Marilyn Manson is kind of like poppy hard rock, but dark poppy hard rock. It's also kind of remind me of Nirvana a bit. So it's very, very diverse and unique. And what's funny is that I remembered, I saw your music video back in the day. And it's, by the way, it's Brandon Shear. He corrected me in the chat. And I remember you made a dope music video back in the day. I think it was for this. And I remember complimenting it. Like,
I've been walking down the street for quite some time.
this is so dope.
Been trying to find my way out. I can't seem to get away.
But it's funny that your style is so diverse. Like, this is almost kind of like a little bit hip hop, but you still have a lot of that rock influence. And this was a little more rock direction. But anyway, I liked it a lot. Like, it's super unique. Like, it's hard for me to describe. But it's really good. It's really catchy. The melody was good. I liked the triple octave stack you had through almost the whole song. And it didn't get old. Like, usually you wouldn't use a big stack like that for so long, but it worked really well. I also really like this little quieter part. There's a little bit of rhythmic clash between the part fading out before it and what's coming in, but I think it's forgivable. It's subtle. I mean, it's there, you notice it, but like a non-musician probably isn't going to notice it, and that's kind of most of the market anyways. But yeah, good job, dude. I'm gonna add this to my catchy rock and metal playlist because it fits in there relatively good. Loading. Good images, good bio, good that you have social media links, artist pick. Yeah, cool. All right, awesome, man. I don't know if you had a music video for this one. Oh, you just had an audio thing. But man, this video thing you did for this and this, man, you could do that exact video format for every video and it wouldn't get old. I mean, you said you drew, I remember back when we talked, you said you drew everything, like all these little things on, I think, which was like nuts. So I can't imagine how much work that was. But yeah. Sweet. Brandon Shear, everybody. Go listen to his stuff on Spotify. And then Brandon said, "Dude, you hit me on the nail. You hit me on the nail. Thank you. Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess what the genres I said that I thought it was, I guess that was accurate. So good. I'm glad to have made your week." Marie Johns. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna make a video for good people too. Yeah, it'll be dope. That style's really good. I don't know if you're running Facebook ads for your stuff, but I think it would do well if you targeted the right genre. Okay, this is just an Instagram clip. All right, or I mean a Twitter clip. I'm gonna play that.
Down the shades, turn out the lights, just feeling blue, just feeling blue.
Damn. That was really good. That was really, 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 really good. It kind of reminded me of Porcupine Tree. I don't know if anyone knows Porcupine Tree. Shout out to Porcupine Tree. I'm not going to play their stuff because I'll get, you know, the copyright police will come. But Steve Wilson, I think his name is. Steve Wilson is the singer of Porcupine Tree. And they have a lot of songs like Trains and Lazarus that kind of reminded me of this. And they're like progressive rock and progressive metal, but basically progressive rock and progressive metal means you can do whatever the hell you want, right? So they have a lot of soft acoustic stuff. They remind me a lot of this, like melodically, and the way this progression, the instrumentals came in, and that was just really good. The vocals was nice, the melodies were very nice, the production was great, and this really was ramping up here. The synth that came in, really good job. Like you had me hooked in, you hooked me in hard. So fantastic. Thank you, Marie Johns. And yeah, I was reading Tom Brady opens up about co-parenting with his ex-wife. And I'm from Massachusetts, so you know we root for the Patriots. So Tom Brady just left the Patriots. I'm not a big football fan, but a lot of people I know are, and so they're very salty about Tom Brady leaving and basically committing treason in the football world for a higher payment. Lesso Laney? Did I already listen to this? I think you ended up joining the Patreon. You did. Yeah, we listened to this earlier. There was like the Pink Floyd kind of like poppy modern Pink Floyd with experimental stuff. Remember? Spiritual up in here. We got Halloween Candy by Spiritual. Very season appropriate.
Halloween candy tastes so sweet but scary. I heard you break hearts. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Halloween candy tastes so sweet but scary. I heard you break hearts. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. House looks so spooky, but has the best candy. So I knocked on the door. Pretty face I've never seen before. I can feel myself fall in love, like an angel from above. Now what am I gonna do with a creature like you? Halloween candy tastes so sweet but scary. I heard you break hearts. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Halloween candy tastes so sweet but scary. I heard you break hearts. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I took a bite, it was out of sight. The force of the portal, oh with all my might. Her beauty faded, I could see the wicked.
So, dude, here, listen to this for a sec. So, I think what would benefit you a lot is having music videos, and I know this might be hard to do, right? A full music video, because you're obviously in a, you know, we've talked about this before. You're in a very unique position. You're doing a lot of funny songs, right? Toe Jam, the Box, which is a classic, by the way. Ice Cream and Cake, and then this one, and some of these are older, right? Like this one was from 2019. But I think a video to go along with this would be like a bigger selling point for you. Spiritual music? I don't know. It's going to come up with like religious music. That's not what I want. I don't know what to search to find your YouTube. I can't just click it on here for some reason. But like, I don't know if you've ever done this, but to have like a music video to go along with it, like to really get people like, hey, this is a funny Halloween song, and but it's also a hip hop song. And you know, it's kind of like Weird Al always had these videos to go along with it, and it'd be hard to do. But and you mentioned it earlier, you wanted to do one for Toe Jam, but you couldn't find people that wanted to have you film their toes for a YouTube video, which is a very strange thing to ask. But yeah, I think a video would help you a lot. Because you mentioned the Instagram ads didn't work for you, but you're in a unique case, right? You're a very unique case, you know. And there's been a couple other people who've submitted music kind of in your space as well. And I think they have the same issues. Like, it's different. I don't know if the same rules of marketing apply, you know. Yeah, I would love to have a video, but I'm poor. You could do something with your phone, right? I mean, like, especially a Halloween song, like, if you film it, like, I mean, if you have some old Halloween costumes, you could just get a couple friends and, like, give them a bag of candy, and then you're, like, walking in the street, Halloween candy. You know, they're walking down the street in their costumes, and it's be a funny video, 15 to 30 seconds, just enough for an advertisement, right, to get them over to the song. Just thinking out loud. You could do it on an iPhone, you know? Most of the videos you see on this channel are shot on an iPhone. Almost every time I ask someone, what do you use to shoot this? They're like, oh, my iPhone. So, yeah. Yeah. And then Midnight Drive said, bro, do not spend money in a video. Yeah. I mean, like, I have a good set of camera stuff, but you don't need it. If for some reason I didn't have any of my camera stuff, I would just continue shooting my videos all on my iPhone. And I bet no one would notice. Surprisingly, the lighting is more important. I think you could pull something off. Like, if you look at I don't know if you know Ruslan, his channel, Ruslan KD. He has a lot of people show up on every Friday. He does one of these same kind of thing. He's actually the person I got the idea from to do this stream, this music review stream. He does one every Friday, and look at the music videos you see there. Some people are cranking out music videos every week, like full-blown music videos just shot on their iPhone, and they look dope. So check out his Ruslan KD, and look at the people he talks about on his music streams. A lot of them are doing some awesome stuff with literally like no money. Some of them are in high school making dope music videos. So yeah, and just because it's tradition around here, I'll pay the first 15 seconds of the box.
Listen to my child. Whatever you do not open the box. Okay, Dad, I will not open the box. You must promise me never to open the box. I promise I won't open the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Don't open the box. Don't open the box. Don't open the box. Unboxing.
Yeah. Gotta play that open the box. Yeah, so it's Ruslan KD, Ruslan KD. Every Friday he does a stream. Really great channel. He does a lot of music marketing stuff and a bunch of other stuff too. But every Friday he has a music review stream. Super great channel. Go check him out. I did an interview with him. Great guy too. So, yeah. Ruslan KD. I've recommended him a lot on this channel, but he has some great content. So, yeah. My new backup page. T Femi, don't understand. Official lyric video. Or you can make a music video of the box and just do what I just did. That dance just for three straight minutes. I don't, you know, you have a lot of freedom when it comes to videos, more than most people do, I think.
I can be shot by no label. I'm too impressive to lose. I can be shot by no label. I'm too important to lose. I'm too important to lose. I'm too important to lose. Nigga, hey, nigga, I don't understand that. What you want? Just go and get the boss man. That's our team, but it's time in the slide. That's our team, but it's time in the slide. I do stuff to say I'll never do. There's a team every time I'm on side. They hate me winning. It's killing that slowly. You niggas that slowly. You niggas that slowly today. I got a bag to spend 3,500 to be exact. I gotta move smart, gotta check on my circle, can't move with no rats. Everyone fuck on my rhymes, on the talk of the town, have been sold all day. I don't do edibles, I don't do perkies, I still don't fuck with you motel niggas. They can't do me, I'm too important. My bucket list check need another. Ain't no rookie, my What? Ain't no Rick even flows so poly. The bigger the barrel, the better the bitch, and I'm rich niggas stressing about it. Gotta give a back, racking on me, cause I'm ballin' like I'm hardy. Like I'm hardy, like I'm hardy. My bitch crazy, like she Harley. White boy say she gnarly. Fucking like a bitch, if she look like a bar. She wanna be with all the rappers like Dottie. She wanna be with all the traps like Dottie. Rob a nigga like I'm robbing. I'll never say I'm sorry. They keep hanging, nigga, I don't understand that. What? Wish you more. Just go and get the boss man. SRT for the style and the swag. SRT for the style and the swag. I knew it's not the same, I'll never do. There's a team every time when we're side.
So the beat hits super hard, and the vocals are on point, and the notes are good, and the auto tune. There's some like fast transitions and stuff, but it doesn't get warbly. Like it's fast, and there's some note stuff, but it's pretty dead on. Even though it's fast and there's a lot of note transition happening. I think the enunciation could be better, but I think you're kind of going for that. Like I think you're going for certain vocal sound, and I think your enunciate. It's kind of hard to hear what you're saying. Obviously, we have a lyric video here, so we know what you're saying, but like you can tell you're really not enunciating, which I think it's just your style, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm gonna get my own show, cause I want you to the cool. I can be shot by no label. I'm too impressive to lose. I can be shot by no label. I'm too important to lose. I'm too important to lose. I'm too important to lose. Hey, nigga, I don't understand that.
Your voice is really good too. Like you're hitting some high notes. You're throwing falsetto in there. You're doing rasp. And there's a lot of notes in here too. So like you're like rapping, but you're really like singing. So it's a you can tell like you're a good vocalist. Yeah, good job. And then Mars Exalted said, yeah, it's a style. He's definitely going for that. So, yeah. Ignore my thing about the enunciation, if that's what you're going for. Really good vocalist, though. Like, you can tell that, like, you know what you're doing. Like, you're doing, like, head voice. You're doing falsetto. You're doing raspy stuff. And you're, like, rapping, but you're singing. And you're using autocorrection in a way that... Not autocorrection. Pitch correction, auto-tune, in a way that, like, it's, like, fast, but it's not warbly. So, you're doing a bunch of stuff right. So, good job. Next, did we already check this out? Could have sworn. Oh, yeah. Okay, we did already check out Marie Johns. Let me know, Marie, if you're still there, and that's something different. I typically only do one thing from each artist. Look into your stream. Would be wicked if you could read my band. Sayo, Juiced Boogmans. Are you still? You still there? One thing nice that's about Twitter is that you can actually leave links, but I'll pull it up. Cool. So this is Sayo. I'll just play a clip of a song.
It's hitting me once. Why do I have to worry about it? We will build all alone. Cause together we will grind it. Get inspired by love. Take a deep breath, get it right in. What's the matter with y'all? Don't you see we can live without accidents are made to make us grow.
Super good. I wasn't expecting it when it started, but the voice is really nice.
What's the matter with y'all?
Like vocalist is really nice. The mix and master and production all sounds clean. I really like your aesthetic here. Like this is a dope image. Like you're midair, everyone's just in their zone. It kind of gives me Glass Animals vibes. I don't know if you're into Glass Animals, but it reminds me a lot of them. Kind of indie, but also kind of somewhat psychedelic, and also just kind of pop rock. Kind of a big amalgamation of stuff, Glass Animals. But it kind of reminds me of that.
Holding feathers. If it's hitting me once, why do I have to worry about it? We will build all along, 'cause together we will grind it. Get inspired by love. Take a deep breath, get it right in. What's the
Also, your bassist is doing some awesome stuff. Most people probably don't notice it, but your bassist is just like shredding through half of the song.
matter with y'all? Don't you see we can live without accidents or made too much? If it's hitting me once, why do I have to work?
It's like the verse, he's just like kind of doing all these cool riffs while everyone, like guitar's just doing like a relatively simple thing, but really nice depth to the song. Like it sounds very simple on its surface. Then you dig in, it's like, oh, the guitar's doing something cool and the bass is doing something cool. There's just cool vocal harmonies. So yeah, cool project. And you do everything yourself, so hella good job. Juiced Bookbins from Saiso? I'm guessing is how you say that, Saiso. But yeah, super cool. I like it. Next up is Tyler Gunn.
I don't wanna live like this every day. Count the steps I circled in this space. Count the blessings blessed from yesterday. As every lesson I tested my strength. Cause I think I'm going insane. I'm losing my mind every day. No, it's in a far away place. I'm stuck between two far into land.
This is super cool. I was like, when it started, I was not expecting this. Like when it started off, I thought I was gonna dive into some like hip hop thing, but it actually stayed very like, I guess someone said Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's kind of the best comparison I could think of. I'm so used to hearing like lo-fi songs start off like this.
Count the steps, 'cause in the end of it all, what did we learn?
Very like raw, intimate vocal sound, which is cool. Very refreshing too. Like it doesn't sound overproduced. It sounds very raw, which is nice. You did it well. And again, it sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers if the Red Hot Chili Peppers singer was better. Because what's his name? Anthony Kiedis? Not the best singer in the world. So I don't mean to be comparing you to him. But it kind of reminds me of that. But like you actually sound like you're better at singing than Anthony Kiedis, because he's Anthony Kiedis. Is that his name? Anthony Kiedis. He's not a bad singer. Anthony Kiedis. Is that his name? Anthony Kiedis. Yeah, Anthony Kiedis. Vocalist of Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's probably better now, but he's everyone kind of craps on him. But yeah, really good job. Really nice vibe. Really good vocals. Really nice guitar. Yeah, if you're going for Red Hot Chili Peppers, like you're nailing it, but in a good way. Like you don't sound like a ripoff, but people who like it will like this. So it's unique, but it's reminiscent of it. So good job. Midnight Drive. I'm excited. I know I've heard your stuff before.
I wanna dance and take that body way down low with sweet romance. I get you screaming out for more, so take my hand as we're walking out to the floor. It was your plan, got me running out through the door. You're craving danger, I'm your answer. You got your motives up inside your head. You wanted my love, but sorry, my love.
Ooh.
You gotta prove you can't keep up with me. You know I get it started. I like the way you're moving. You know I don't dance on my own. Let's go. You know I get it started. I like the way you're moving. You know I don't dance on my own. I wanna dance and make that body sweat, some more hypnotic trance. Get you forgetting what you want time and again. Got you staring when I look away. You think you're smooth, why don't you just come here and play? You're craving danger, I'm your answer. You got your motives up inside your head. You wanted my love, but sorry, my love. You gotta prove you can't keep up with me. Let's go. You know I get it started. I like the way you're moving. You know I don't dance on my own. Let's go. You know I get it started. I like the way you're moving. You know I don't dance on my own. Anything will make it through.
Dude, this is fucking great. Like, capital F fucking great. Like, adding you right here on my biggest playlist. Because I genuinely like that a lot. Like, awesome vocals, awesome production, genre I like, really good vibe. Hits all the notes for me. Catchy. Yeah, I think I loved your last track too, because this is only your second song. So you're really off to a good start. And like, I'm sure you've been doing music outside of these two songs, but this project you're doing, Midnight Drive, like, holy hell. You got two songs and they're both slam dunks. And let me remind myself of this one.
Focused on you and me. You need to understand that this was never Wonderland. So I'm driving away.
So yeah, everyone go listen to Midnight Drive on Spotify. I like it a lot. Yeah, I think everything was good. I don't even have any feedback. It's just fantastic. Yeah. I forgot I was just going to say something, but I completely... Oh, yeah. I was going to show you something because I was in here. So yeah, thank you, Midnight Drive. Fantastic song. I was going to remind you of something. So I won't tell you how I know this person, but he just put out this song, and it's fantastic. And I'll show you a little bit about it. I was just so impressed by it. I'll show it to you, just a clip. Like, hella good voice. And if I go to the last chorus. Hot day. Like, this is this dude's first song ever. I mean, first song he's releasing, of course. He's been an artist for a while, but like, go check out William Nesmith, Just Love. Like, you'll like it. If you like pop music, you'll like it also. But I saw this in this playlist when I added you Midnight Drive, so I wanted to show everyone. Always glad to promote music that I believe in. So yeah, when I heard William's song, I was like, man, like I sent it to my girlfriend. I was like, you're gonna love this. Like, this is really good. But yeah, Midnight Drive, fantastic job. I put you right next to William. Hopefully, get some streams. Did I add you to another playlist? I don't know if I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, Midnight Drive. I'm really looking forward to. I'm already following you. Really looking forward to your music as you come out. As you come out with more in the next couple months. I hope, at least. Cool. Next we got Elaine Pernod. Pernod. See you tomorrow. What? Okay. Oh, okay. There. Wait a minute. Oh, it is a video. Incredible job at maintaining consistently. It's incredibly hard to go through like an entire performance of a fingerpick song and not make one little mistake. That like very impressive, and it sounds really cool. Like I think you wrote this. I'm guessing because it's Mauve, Elaine Pernod. But very, very beautiful melodic song, and it's very captivating for a song that's just one acoustic guitar with no other instruments through the entire thing. It's very like it sucks you in. So I think you did a great job with the writing. Like it stands on its own as just a single guitar song, just some guitar and some reverb. So hella good job. And I'm guessing this is what you do. Like you make kind of like nylon string, like classical or maybe just acoustic guitar fingerpick songs, but you do it very well. So like really good playing and very good writing. So good job, Elaine. Also, I'm guessing you're running ads in that because you got like 500,000 views. It seems like, you know, if you're from the entrepreneur world of running music marketing stuff, this would be what's called a fan finder, which is like when you run video view campaigns in a video, just try to get people into your world and then retarget them later to do other stuff. Seems like it's going well though. 500,000, 726 comments, 1,200 shares. So I mean, it's a very good song. So I think you picked a great video for your ad if that's what you were doing. Next up, we got Phil of Mars. I'm gonna go a little quick because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get everyone in. I was gonna stop. I think it's somewhere here, but I'll go a little bit faster. I planned on stopping at 10 originally. Supreme Victory. I'm just gonna play the first song.
Yeah.
Okay, independent freedom. I don't like having a boss, I have to seek permission. Giving time you haven't lived is a reckless decision. I'm getting sick about the days while I'm on this prescription. Should've believed my mama when she said, boy, you just different. Who matching my energy in this different dimension? You raised your hand, I said, who matching? I give your opinion. What God gave me, understand that I'll die to defend it. By default, my circle's small cause they easily offended. No time trying to debate cause you all in your feelings. I'm trying to stack these dead guys until they hit the ceiling. I'm much alive, these dead guys provide a lot of living. I'm trying to be a hitman in a couple of Benzes. Like Jay in that Rolls Royce doing kingdom business. I had some Lamborghini dreams with me and my missus. Then had some private jet vibes for all of our children. And then I fucking woke up and decided to get it. Don't tell me shit if you ain't crying because you felt in prison. Don't try to lie and say I'm free, you know that God listening. Every bar replaces shackles with a deeper vision. Every tear watered the soil to change my position. And if we didn't have these masks, then you would see my grimace. All the frustration and the pain from recent events unleash the beast inside of me that you dying to witness. As God is my witness, I'm no longer staying silent for another's interest. And rice is never sold out, you just ain't get a ticket. I watch these people sell their soul for some lesser business. Where I'm from, you sold your soul, you catching two for flinching. We Tank Davis with the hands, what the fuck is clenching? You man up a bitch.
This is really good. And you know I'm not the biggest like hip hop fan in the world. This is really well done. The vocal flow just feels so natural. Like every word he says just feels incredibly convincing. It's like it just feels so natural, right? Like it's yeah, it just works. It works. The flow's really good. The beat hits hard, and the flow over the beat from the vocalist sounds really good.
Cause we don't straddle fences. They said what I'm looking for in life don't come with pensions. I'm so close in the game, it's like it's fourth and inch.
I don't know if you did the beat, but the beat is super good too. A lot of rappers will either make their beats. When I say beat, I mean instrumental. If you're not from the or is there one dislike? Ah man, one dislike. Man, I didn't know that until I saw that. Anyways, yeah, some rappers will make their own beats or instrumentals, and some rappers will buy their beats. And so I don't know if you made it yourself, but you did a really good job if you made it yourself. I'm going to put that in the playlist. So by the way, if anyone wants to go find anything from tonight that's on Spotify, I added to the playlist that I just put in the chat. Hella good job, Mr. Rice. I want to give you some recommendations. First of all, get a bio, get some images, add some social media links, because right now people have no way of finding you. If I'm like, hey, ultra puggers. I don't think we've ever said that out loud. Ultra puggers. Hey, ultra puggers. I just found this awesome artist named Mr. Rice, and he's like, okay, cool. Oh. I don't know anything about them. I don't know their name. I can't find them on social media. And I can't Google Mr. Rice because nothing's going to come up. So, Mr. Rice, if you're watching this, I mean, like, everyone could go find him now on Phil of Mars, I'm guessing, is probably associated with him, so you can find it. But get a bio in there and get some social media links so that people can find you. Because everyone here is like, hell yeah, this is dope. But they can't go find you. They can't follow you on social media. And a lot of them probably would. So, really good job. But if you want to find him, just look up my hashtag. That's one perk of the hashtag Music for Monday. Go find Phil Amaris. He's the one who submitted it. So I'm sure he at least knows where you could find him. M. Roadrunner. Mars Exalted.
Yo, Saint go crazy.
I've been taking a lot of notes about all you folks, and you got me pinned under, look the road running, thinking that's all folks. But it's all joke, sorry, but not biological. But it's ironic though, you got a lot of dough. Oh, that's cold, but your soul been sold, and your road's been rolled, and your roy's done grown. Who don't want to listen to the 6-footer? I don't know. Boy, I can't wait till they come to the shows. Filled with rows and rows like D-Rose, and the Timberwolves like D-Rose in San Antonio, MVP, not Toronto. But we gonna flaunt though, what we gonna haunt though? I'm in your nightmares like cannibal, got my style man like Tonto.
You hear that? Dude.
Hold on,
Did
what?
you stop the beat?
Hitting home runs like B-Rose in Ohio. Managing my life like take a right in 3 miles. Guy like, yeah, he's a red light, put you through trials. I'm like, yeah, good one, you know I get riled. He's like, yeah, it's so funny, let me turn off the dial. You know at this point he's got a wide smile like a child. When they just got a toy, they mind in the pants. Survive, but to take a deep sigh, cause the kid will be quiet for at least some time. It'll be fine to take a nap, or at least close eye. One eye staying open in case the kids start to fire. Oh, I think I left my mixtape out. Sorry.
Man.
Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We're gonna do another verse, or now we're just pausing the song like this? Okay, whatever. Gonna do another verse? No. It's like, oh, this just in. Not everybody wants to see JT win. That's true though, in case you're wondering. Maybe just because of the sheer wonderment. Maybe because he's a wonder man. Maybe because he's the privilege he fights against. It doesn't really make any sense. Kind of ironic he doesn't see it. And wait, who were we talking about again? Oh, that's right. Emmy, I can be petty and do things out of spite. I'm trying to get better because I know it isn't right. Trying not to get too dark because I want to find the light. I want to make some music that really does ignite, but I don't want to go too far and have to start a fight. But sometimes you gotta find a spark before you can find the light. I know it's cheesy, but that really is life.
Man, minute 56. That is a short song, but a lot of really cool things in that. The flow and the vocals was just like butter smooth throughout. Like you did a random like little burst of words and stuff just so fluently, like it felt very natural. So like your timing and pacing and flow and everything was great. And the pauses were a very nice touch. Like,
hold on, we gonna flaunt though, what we gonna haunt though? I'm in your nightmares like cannibal, got my style man like Tonto. You hear that?
Dude,
hold on,
did
what?
you stop the beat?
Hitting home runs like B-Rose.
It's just such a perfect like spot of time to stop it, because you kind of, dude, you stopped the beat, or no, dude, you stopped the beat, dude, like it kind of hits right on the one, so it just like kind of perfect pause. I think it like maybe you could have not had 3 of them, but it's fun. Like it's super fun. I think especially in a music video, this would be really cool. The pauses were very nice, and the production's great. The hits really hard.
Oh, I think we're just. Man, that's true though, in case you're wondering. Maybe just because of the sheer wonderment. Maybe because he's a wonder man. Maybe because he's the privilege he fights against. It doesn't really make any sense. Kind of ironic he doesn't see it. And wait, who were we talking about again? Oh, that's right. Emmy, I can be petty and do things out of spite. I'm trying to get better because I know it isn't right. Trying not to get too dark because I want to find the light. I want to make some music that really does ignite, but I don't want to go too far and have to start a fight. But sometimes you gotta find a spark before you can find the light. I know it's cheesy, but that really is life.
Yeah, super cool track though. And again, you know, I'm not the biggest the biggest hip hop listener in the world, especially when there's not a hook. If there's not a hook, it's usually hard for me to dig it. But this is really cool. It reminded me back in the day. Before I was into like rock music, I was big fan of like Eminem, which is like really, we actually used to like hip hop a lot back in the day. That was like 15 years ago, surprisingly. But it kind of reminded me of like that older Eminem album, but in a more modern sense, in a way. Yeah. Anyways, cool track, dude. Very good flow, and the beat hit super hard, as us Bostonians would say. Google Drive. I'll play it if it doesn't make me download it. It has to stream. Okay, cool. I don't do downloads from strangers. Sorry. Cool.
Exclusive collaboration. Artisans beat.
Futures obscure.
That color grade.
Tá em cima do muro, talvez seja o melhor lugar pra ficar.
Look at this color grade. This is beautiful. And it's really cool because he's using contrasting colors. If you ever looked up like color signs, usually you pick tones on the opposite side of the color wheel, and often people pick cyan and orange or blue and orange. And this kind of pastel blue and pastel orange is very cool how you separated the scene like this. And this might just be a LUT preset, but it looks really cool here.
Não tem tempo pra olhar o que está vindo. Não dá tempo de desviar. O que você vai fazer se o mundo virar tudo
pra baixo e pernas pro ar. Quem olha pro céu e vê mais que blue sabe que tem algo estranho pra acontecer. Tenta fugir, cê corre pra TV, vê tanta coisa errada e não sabe o que vai ser. São tantas incertezas o que você vai fazer. Você não sabe o que quer, mas sabe o que não quer ser. Futures obscure. Quem tá em cima do muro talvez seja o melhor lugar pra ficar. Quem tá de blá 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 não tem tempo pra olhar o que está vindo, não dá tempo de desviar.
This is really good. Like this is really good. The melody is catchy, and I don't know what the hell you're saying because I only speak English. You said it's in Portuguese because you're from Brazil. From Brazil, Portuguese. Okay, I thought Brazilian and Portuguese were like slightly different. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, super good. Like very catchy chorus, and the production was good, and the nice synths and stuff. Especially in the chorus. So and the color grade. I really like the color grade. I don't know if this is just like literally a LUT or like a preset on something, but it looks really cool. So yeah, good job. I like the song. If it was in English, like I'd totally share it. I just tend not to share anything that's not in English because it's hard for me to like listen to something if I don't understand it. I'm sure you get that. Like if you speak English and Portuguese, if you heard like a song in Chinese, you'd be like, I don't, it makes it harder to connect when you don't speak the native tongue of the song. But really good job. Like really, really good job. I liked it a lot. Next up, we got Billy Larso. Oh, and I see we got a Headbanger's Kitchen in the chat. If you've never checked out Headbanger's Kitchen, super unique channel. Headbanger's Kitchen. I saw he subscribed and I checked him out. He's got 500,000 subscribers and he's like a metalhead that
horns up and welcome to Headbanger's Kitchen.
That teaches like a bunch, or not teaches, but I guess teaches, does a bunch of cool like recipes. But he's also a metalhead, which is like super unique combination. Just wanted to point that out because I saw him in the chat. Anyways, back to Billy Larso.
What?
Did that not work? Billy Larso. I'll click it again. There we go. I'm confused. Why is that not playing? There we go. Wait, no, what? This is... Oh, is it because it took me to the profile? That's why. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, pulling out the sand. Honestly, I wrote a fan. Hold it down, got that 50 slam. Oh my god, I ride. I let that shit slide. Pulling out the bag, I'm ready to die. Making all my raps, took it out the scene. Pull the beam, my shit is shining. Chandelier, we in the sand. I shit got my gang. Oh my god, my team got my back. Oh my god, do the favorite right back. Honestly, baby, pretty ass fuck. Can we start this small talk? I should cop a 50 nigga talk about it, text you on the road. Make that profit go. We'll see how we go. I should gotta go. Pulling out the beam, pulling out the sin. Oh my god, running up the side. Oh god, Capital plan on rest. Watch it in. I make it happen. Be ready, these niggas know we ready. Hop on the wheel, be told that we have it. Whoa, full manic. Whoa, long rider. Whoa, Shannon. Whoa,
So the beat hits super hard, and your vocals sound nice, but there's some. Hold on, let me pick apart. I'm having trouble like, thinking of how to say what I want to say.
See how we go. I just gotta go. Pulling out the beam, pulling out the sin. Oh my God, running up the set. Oh God, can't put plan on rest. What's your end? I make it happen. Be ready, these niggas know we ready. Hop on the wheel, be told that we have it. Whoa, fool man.
Overall, I think this is pretty solid. Someone just joined. Hey everyone, the fuck are we doing here? Overall, I think this is pretty solid. It's like the flow of the vocals sound cool. I'm not a fan again of the intense auto tune with like the sliding notes. But I think that's just the style, and I think it works fine. The beat's really cool though, and the vocal flow is good, and the vocals sound nice and crisp and clear. So overall, good job. I'm going for 2.5 hours, so I'm getting a little spaced cadet-y. But yeah, good job, Billy Larso. Let me actually go and join this here. And Spiritual said, how do you get that effect in your vocals? Mostly just auto-tune in general. And I'm not the biggest fan of like super fast auto-tune, but it's the style nowadays for a lot of genres, especially like hip-hop recently. Like very, very fast tuning auto-tune. That's how you get there's this kind of...
Whoa, Lone Rider. Whoa, Shannon. Whoa, watch me smile from a distance, yeah.
So that's really just waves tune or auto tune, pitch correction, stuff like that. So there's a nuance to it. I use pitch correction a lot in my own stuff, but I'll do manual tuning so I can have more control over what I'm doing. But it's a fine line. All right, I see. Hold on, I see a bunch of stuff in the chat that I'll read in a sec. Headbanger's Kitchen. Andrew doesn't do shout outs. He does south outs. Yeah, and that's my dad joke for the day to prove how old I am. Nice. It's a solid dad joke. South outs. Cameron, definitely vibe. Before you go, I just want to let you know I guessing love your channel. And I've learned a lot from you. Thanks, man. Thanks, Cameron. I appreciate that. Flavor Pepper, I got my song to 3,000 views with your methods, Andrew, but I still haven't hit that Spotify algorithm. Yeah, it's... Especially when you're starting, like, some people message me and they're like, hey, I did everything you said and my song just didn't perform as well. It's kind of a process of trial and error. Like, it's a little bit different for every artist. And I even still, like, I will have songs that don't do as well as my other ones. So, you know, make sure you never give up after 1 or 2 or 3 songs. Just like keep trying and start with small budget so you can learn and so that you have enough budget to do multiple songs, you know. This is really a long-term learning process of marketing music. Nothing happens overnight, nothing happens in one song, but you get a year of releasing a song a month. That can move you a lot of places, you know. Just because one song doesn't push you very far, don't forget how far one song a month over the course of a year can push you along, you know. And there's a quote that goes behind it. I think it's by Bill Gates or something. He said a lot of people, I think it was Bill Gates, like a lot of people overestimate the amount of work they can do in a week, but underestimate the amount of work they can do in a year, something like that. Yeah. Next up we got Tyler. Linktree. I haven't seen many people using Linktree.
And I was seeing both sides. Seeing both sides of the glass. Girls like you like all of the bands. Girls like you like all of the trends. Everything it is, I ain't with the shits. Now seeing both sides of the glass. Girls like you like all of the bands. Girls like you like all of the trends. Everything it is, I ain't with the shits. Yeah, and I ain't mean to cut ties. You like halftime, make me have to switch sides. Had to get left just to make me feel right. You held me down, but I was meant to still fly, yeah. I was seeing both sides of the glass. When I watched you leave me and when I drove past, I would was in the house just looking out the window. Now I'm staring at the dash, feeling how the wind blows. Yeah, and it goes on and on. No matter what you say, I knew all along. Through this beautifully stained glass, I can't see you the same. The colors of our past slowly fade to gray, 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 gray. Seeing both sides of it. Yeah, these bitches quitting quick to throw the towel with you. Yeah, yeah. But I'm okay now, and I'ma stay down. Pour a glass before I fade out. Now seeing both sides of the glass. Girls like you like all of the bands. Girls like you like all of the trends. Everything it is, yeah, I ain't with the shit. Yeah. And now I'm running through the city with my heart out, looking for the feeling we.
The beat's really good. I like the, was it guitars?
Quick to throw the towel with you, yeah, yeah. But I'm okay now, and I'ma stay down. Pour a glass before I fade out.
I really like the vocals. I like how the auto-tune isn't like super warbly and aggressive. Like there's some warbliness, but it's not like the super fast kind of note jumps and stuff. And Headbanger's question, why does everyone use auto-tune? Yeah, yeah, it's just like, it seems to be the style. Like everyone uses this, so it's very nice when I hear a song that has less of it. This is, I think, for the genre, a good amount. Like this is kind of a good amount for the genre. It doesn't sound overly good, overly intense. But I really like the style here. It's like kind of reminds me of a mix of like kind of punk mixed with hip hop. You know what I mean? Kind of like a pop punk mixed with hip hop, almost like Post Malone.
I'm seeing both sides of the glass. Girls like you like all of the bands. Girls like you like all of the trends. Everything it is, yeah, I ain't with the shit. Yeah. And now I'm running through the city with my heart out, looking for the feeling we have when you start out. I'm so wasted, I can't taste it. By nightfall, my score looking dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid track. I really like that the sound of your voice here. It sounds very crisp and upfront, and the dynamics are well controlled, and it's very very fitting for the style. So good job, dude. Hold on. There we go. Cool. All right, next up we got, so Tyler, thank you very much. Let me add you to the playlist. And once again, I'll drop that link, copy playlist link in the chat. If you found something here tonight that you want to check out again, check out that playlist link I dropped in the chat, and you can go check it out. Next up we got Wevs. 2 V's and 2 S's. Slaps. Man, people don't often send me slaps.
I need you in here. I need you in here by my side, my side, my side, my side. Girl, can you feel it here? Can you feel it here on my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart? Right, house on the hill. Buy some house 'cause we need to feel it.
Flavor Pepper said, "Whoa, this is a viberoni salad faux show." Yeah, this is definitely a vibe. Your vocals sound really nice, very like dreamy and I guess dreamy is probably the best word for it. But you have a nice vocal tone, and the melodies are pretty catchy. I'm not the biggest like R&B fan in the world and soul, and this is definitely very R&B soul, and you even tagged it as that. But your voice sounds really nice.
Maybe you should know all I knew, 'cause you only one that I can choose. Boy, you just let me in, now I know. It's a little girl that just I knew. So I just yours 'cause you only hold my drugs, babe. Outside in the motherfucking jail. Tell her you want home until we
I know you said you need some ad-libs and harmony, and yes, I agree. Some ad-libs, harmonies, and also doubles would be nice here. I also think your vocals in a lot of this are too quiet or they're too buried, so I maybe try just bringing the volume of them up or turning the instrumental down. And maybe also carving out some frequencies and maybe doing some dynamic EQ so that when like your vocal speaks, it cuts the frequency of something else around like the 1 to 3 kilohertz region or so, depending on where your vocals are living. But yeah, I think like vocals louder and some ad-lib and harmony will definitely make this better, but it's pretty solid overall. So, good job. Nice job referencing slaps also. All right, next up we got Flavor Pepper. Also, Flavor Pepper, you mentioned earlier some question you had about it, so let me know what your question was because I can't find it. Oh, Flavor Pepper, you said you wish that the algorithm picked it up. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing that stands out to me off about this. If that's what you're wondering, why it didn't get picked up, I think it just didn't get picked up, just probably because of stats and people weren't engaging with it enough. I think maybe more vocals in it would help, like because there's only really vocals in that female part you have. But then you have a big gap of instrumentals. It's a cool like drop part though, like it's like a very different, you know, like dun 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 dun. It's a very different kind of drop. And the vocal sample you used was also pretty nice. I think maybe getting more vocals in it would help, or maybe spicing up the drums throughout would help. It's 4 in the floor like throughout, and that's kind of par for the course for the style. But I don't know. I think it'd be better if it'd be cool if you mixed it up a bit more than just 4 in the floor throughout. But I mean, it's pretty solid off. Like the mix is very clear, the master sounds good, everything's easy to hear, and the drop is cool. But those are what I'd say. More vocals if possible. Maybe tweak things up a little more. Maybe if you're not going to use more vocals, have a little more evolution. Maybe just drum part changing up would spice it up enough, because it's already a short enough song where you don't have much time to evolve. So yeah. It's a cool track though, and also very nice unique branding here. Flavor Pepper, and then your logo is like a person wearing a pepper mask, which is very creative, so kudos to you for that. But yeah, hopefully your next song has better luck in the algorithm once you're doing your promotions and stuff. As I mentioned, some things, even I still have songs that'll flop. Oh, I already did one by Webs. Yeah, I already did this one. Water Tower. This is going to be the last one, by the way, this IC one. Anyone after this, cut off. I've been going for 3 hours.
I will work my body until it kills me. Forget about the people that I really don't need. Transplant hipster, fitted t-shirt. Stole my girl, but I don't need her. I will lock myself inside of my house. Don't bother knocking, 'cause I'm not coming out. Smooth talk, needle drop. Should've had my doubts. Forget your social skills, you don't need them now. I guess you're more cultured than me. You always did intimidate me. And I'll cross your name off the list of the people that I could vibe with. I guess you're more cultured than me.
So 2 things that I think would drastically improve how the song sound. The guitars and bass sound like super good. Like they're balanced very nice. You can hear the strumming and the picks and everything. But the drums feel a little bit buried. Like I can't even hear the kick drum.
You always did intimidate me. I'll cross your name off the list.
Like the kick drum is almost not there. And the snare is also pretty quiet. So I think in general the drums need to come up like pretty substantially.
Of the people that I could vibe with. Yeah. High-top van.
I also think the vocals could come up a bit, and maybe they could be dynamically a little more squashed, but this is kind of like you're in a rock genre and not like a poppy rock genre. So you don't really want to squash your stuff too much because then you won't be like, you'll be a little too produced for your genre. You're in a very you're in a space where you don't want anything to be too compressed or too squashed or too limited. But I think the vocals could be squashed and limited a bit more, just to even out the sounds and bring them up in volume. So drums louder and vocals louder in general. Like I think 2 biggest things here. The guitars and bass sound pretty solid, but I think the drums are pretty buried. Like if you told me there was no kick drum in this song, I might believe you. You know?
Underground band.
I can hear them there, but here it's very subtle. And if you're finding that you can hear them in one part and not another, then you could automate the volume. And then the second way you can do that is you can actually sidechain some frequency band. So basically sidechain your bass and your guitars. Sidechain like a frequency slot to duck every time the kick drum hits. Not the whole frequency, just like the low end frequency. And then you can also boost the high end of the kick so that it's a little clickier, and that'll help it stand out a bit. Yeah. But it's a solid track overall. I mean, I'm just saying, like, those 2 things, if you improve them, will make the mix a lot better. And it's a good song. So, yeah. But for future, drums louder. Drums are hard. Like, drums are definitely... Acoustic drums are the hardest thing to get right. Even when they're, like, contact library, like Gecker drums, they're still hard to make work in a mix, so... Syntax said, Andrew, trying to find that kick drum is me trying to find what went wrong with my GPA. I'm so sorry. Man, when I was in high school, I was very bad in school. Like very, very bad. I didn't care at all. And then I went to college, and I remember I think I graduated my associate's degree with like a 3.5, and then I graduated my undergrad degree with a 3.6, and then I graduated my master's degree with a 3.8. So like I cared about school a lot in college, but in high school I didn't give a damn. So if you weren't too hot in high school, don't worry. You might care more when it's a degree that you picked. I know I did. Holy crap. Man, that high note was super good. Hell yeah. By the way, this is Headbanger's Kitchen in the chat. Their project is called Demonic Resurrection, which the song's actually not that heavy yet for the name Demonic Resurrection, which sounds very heavy. And yes, is this the first metal track you're reviewing? And it actually is not. It's like probably like the 4th or 5th or something. You'll probably be the heaviest once this kicks in. Well, you said this was a less heavy song, so maybe not. But I had one song that was like Meshuggah level heavy before, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" Oh yeah.
Constant tyrants will fall. A heavenly voice can prophesize. He's dead by the eighth son of Devaki. As he raises all
Hell yeah. Huh.
Vishnu appeared and said, "Leave me on the bed of your shoulder and bring back the girl that has been born." And so the exile was born.
Dude, this riff here is so awesome.
The king is no dead. Spare his time for his only girl. Let me keep with your brother. God's made no heed as his destiny.
Dude, I'm very impressed. I heard some of your stuff before, but I haven't listened to this much. Awesome vocal rasp. As you know, I'm also quite the metalhead, and I do metal vocals in a couple projects, although not quite this heavy now. In the past, I did stuff this heavy. So I'm very impressed. Like very good raspy vocals, very good screams. I feel like the low guttural screams had a little bit of note in them. I probably would have layered the low screams to have like a high part too, but then that'd probably be more like Born of Osiris deathy sounding than this, which is more like, I don't know what I'd call this, but yeah, different types of screams, just kind of preferences and stuff. But really good guitarist. The guitar solo was sweet. It's been a mix of like impressive alternate picking, impressive legato, impressive sweep picking, and the drums had some very fast bursts and stuff, and very cool riffs. So super good job, dude. Yeah, I'm sure everyone and a lot of people, since so many people submit hip hop, they probably didn't even know this kind of music existed. So I'm glad Headbanger's Kitchen could help expand your horizons in the metal world a bit. But yeah, really good singing. So you're doing all the vocals. You weren't also doing the guitar, were you? Oh wait, is this also you? I think that's you. But then you have a different guy doing leads and then a different person on drums. But yeah, awesome, man. I'm gonna subscribe. I don't know if you're still releasing music, but super cool project. All right, cool. Next up, we got I see. I am not shit. I see. And I said this was going to be the last one, but this guy squeezed in, so featured status, you are in fact the last song. If anyone submits after, I'm very sorry.
it, you got it. You got me like Scotty with the dish to ride. I want them blue faces, get my guap sick. It's a big world, but I am not shit. Hey, I can pass the blunt. You want it? You got it. You got me like Scotty with the dish to ride me. I want them blue faces, get my guap sick. It's a big world, but I am not shit. Hey, yo, and I'ma keep on puffing. Think these people love my song, so I'ma keep on coming. On the hunt for some bucks, it is what it wasn't. I got one shot, take my aim and get the bussin'. Hey, yo, the fuck you thought this was, ho? Feeling like the bee's knees, ain't in this for the buzz, though. The streets got me charged up. Shout out to my plug, yo. Look in the mirror, starstruck. I really got my bars up. Validation, I don't need it. Am I conceited? Cause I'm one of the only ones that I believe in. I'm asthmatic and this smoke can make it hard to breathe in. Your favorite rapper been choking, I pick a beat and eat it. It's my season, hey, I'm sky season. Yo, my size deceiving, 7 inches, 5 feet. Making giant leaps, and I find even when I'm all alone, I feel like an entire legion. One of the best out my region, y'all debate it, it's whatever, sever heads of my demons. When they ask who's next, don't second.
Super nice atmosphere in the beat, like really nice, and I really like the vocals fit this very well. You went the all natural route, no, with no pitch correction. It's really lend itself very nicely to the vibe of the instrumental as well.
My cipher fits complete. These shoes that got some Nike checks. Hey, yo, who am I? That's a good question. You get what you apply, that's a good lesson. Worldwide, people getting scrutinized just for having opinions. Someone wants you crucified. Yo, can we have a conversation? Tell me where's the love? Feels like it's in conservation. Purple and gold in a Swiss, yeah, that's my shit. In time, I'll find my prime like Optimus. Hey, I've been trying to be an optimist. I gotta get my shot to drop, I just cannot optimist. The beat knocks that bass sick. What you making raps for if you afraid to take risk?
Overall, super cool vibe. I liked it. The vocals flew very nicely. The instrumental was really like probably my favorite part. It's very like chill atmosphere, and the melodics were nice, and it's very cool. Sorry, I'm zoning out. I've been doing this for 3 hours. That's why I'm only gonna do one more. If I like skipped anyone, Cameron Wigman, you said you submitted a while ago. Let me know if I skipped you. Feel free to throw that in there, and I'll get you as a straggler. Unless this is you.
If the traffic don't stop me, girl, it'll be a long night. I'm doing 9 to 5 all the way home, but I'd rather be holding you tight. Girl, I'm getting the message, all the texts you've been sending. It's driving me out of my mind. I wanna know what you're wearing, but you're keeping me guessing. Nothing's gonna keep me out of your arms. You've been giving me the green light, ready to start. I'll be home in a minute. Wear that dress I like, oh, you kill it. You and me, girl, we're gonna hit it. Nothing's gonna keep me out of your arms. I'm gonna leave the door unlocked, me taking it slow. Taking it slow. I can already see that look in your eyes and nobody else. No.
So Jay Warren, your vocals are phenomenal here. The harmonies are great, the falsetto is great, and the beat's super good. Hella good job, like really good job, dude. I'm very impressive. I wish I could, wish I could sing like that. Ultra Ultra Puggers, there's no donate button, question mark, and Headbangers Christian would have thrown a super chat if it was enabled. I haven't done super chats because YouTube takes 30% of super chats, and I felt bad turning them on, having YouTube take 30%. So I do Patreon. So if anyone wants to throw me something, I appreciate it. There's just a couple ways you can if you want. You know, one, there's the Patreon. You get exclusive content. Obviously, that's a monthly thing, so it's a little bit different. Two, if you want to talk to me, you can book a consultation. Links to that in the description. Three, I have a course, also linked in the description on Facebook ads and stuff. Again, link in the description. I'll show here. This is my course, Spotify Growth Machine. It gives all the perks. Check out the link in the description. And then the coaching call, you can go and pick a time. We can talk. And then the third way, actually, or fourth way, if you want, is you can, if you go to generastudios.com, you can go and buy some sample packs that I make. I sell sample packs, preset packs, and stuff like that. So, yeah, whatever way. That way everyone gets something in return. It feels weird doing a straight-up donate button when people aren't getting stuff from directly return. And, yeah, I don't... It's spiritually at 30%. That's why I don't like the YouTube super chats or memberships, because they just take so much. And I feel like when people would, if they wanted to give me something, they would kind of assume at least most of it was going to me. Like, yeah, 30% is just too steep for me. It just feels wrong telling people to use it and then have them take 30%. Like, yeah. King comeback? Is this you, Cameron? Yeah, I know. I'm streaming for 3 hours, but I consider this a Patreon perk. So if you want to, those are the methods. Maybe someday I'll turn on Super Chat. But Syntax, I'll donate 30% extra. Maybe I'll turn it on, and I'll just let people know that's the case. That way it's super clear, and people can choose what to pick over what. Because I do appreciate it, and I you know, it means a lot that you guys want to support what I do on this channel in the different forms, and so. But yeah, for the meantime, you know, one of those other things. Maybe I'll turn on Super Chat next week and see how it does. And I'll make it blatantly obvious on the screen. I'll put in the corner like Super Chat. YouTube takes 30%. That's why. Maybe I don't know. Cameron, is this you? Cameron Wigham? King Comeback? Let me know in a couple seconds. Otherwise, I'm gonna call it a night. King Comeback. Okay, cool.
Comeback.
It's comeback.
I'll play this one. It's newer.
The track blazes, and we do this.
Turn around, let me see it. Bend over, let me see it. Turn around, let me see it. Bend over, let me see it. Turn around, let me see it. Bend over, let me see it. Turn around, let me see it. Bend over, let me see it. Turn around, bend it over, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over, let me see something. Turn around, bend it over, let me see. Turn around, bend it over, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over, drop it to the floor. I came in this bitch with a pocket full of dough. If you got a big booty, then I'ma take you home. If you got a little booty, then I'ma make it grow. So go on, take it off, bend over, let me see it. And I don't mean that two-step, shake it like you mean it. Shake it like you love me, shake it like you need it. Shake it like the rent due, shake it like you fiend it. I took her to the spot and made them legs hit the ceiling. On the way she gave me toast, so I had to take the scenic. Baby, please explain the reason for having all this cake and you can't even eat it. So for the sake of Jesus, turn around, bend it over, let me see something.
Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over. Let me see. Turn around.
Dude, you have a crazy story here. I didn't know this was like a wheelchair here, and you described in your profile, you resorted to hustling in order to cover your college tuition and living expenses, but then you were shot and paralyzed in 2012 during an attempted robbery. Holy shit. And then the opposition got stopped his passion for learning and making music, so he continued his education in mechanical engineering while pursuing a career in the music industry as an artist, songwriter, producer, and engineer. Holy crap, that's a really powerful story, like for real. So, yeah. Now, anyways, aside from the music, well, actually, before I get into the music, cool that you're doing mechanical engineering. I actually have a master's degree in mechanical engineering, so that's what I went to school for too. And I'm also doing music, so that's pretty sweet. But let me jump back to the track.
Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it over. Let me see something. Gonna shake that ass, bitch. I'ma throw this money. I came in this bitch with a pocket full of money, but I'm about to dip with a ride full of honeys. No valet, but I got some keys coming. I could just rap, but the track be bunking. Throwing up my set like I got a lot of cars with the beat bumping. Cause I bring trouble, leave you seeing double.
You have a cool like rapping tone when you're going through it, but I think it needs a little more like rhythmic tweaking throughout, because you kind of stay in the same rhythmic motif for a significant portion of the song.
It over, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Turn around, bend it. Got a big booty, then I'ma take you home. If you got a little booty, then I'ma make it grow. So go on, take it off, bend over, let me see it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it needs more like rhythmic diversity from like section to section. I think that would improve a lot. Sorry, I was reading the comments. Graduated, no job, here I am, fam. Thanks. Oh man, really? That's I guess it probably just depends on where you're located. At least in Massachusetts, it's pretty thriving right now. Although with the current state of the world, I don't want to say the word because this video will probably get taken down or something. It's probably a lot harder than it was a year ago or 2 years ago.
And I don't mean that two-step. Shake it like you mean it. Shake it like you love me. Shake it like you need it. Shake it like the rent due. Shake it like you fiend. I took her to the spot and make them legs hit the ceiling. On the way she gave me top, so I had to take the scenic. Baby, please explain the reason for having all this cake. Turn around, turn around, bend.
Yeah, two biggest things. Work on switching up your rhythms throughout because they get kind of like constant throughout. And then in this chorus-ish part, it's too loud. It gets a lot louder than the verses.
Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something.
So I would turn those down and kind of bring them back up to the level of the rest. So rhythmic diversity, and then also the chorus is a bit too loud. But overall, you have a cool vocal sound. I just think you've got to keep cranking out the music and working on the different bars and stuff. You know, switch up the rhythms and stuff. I don't know if you're working on the beats too. The beat sounded like it was well made. I don't know if you bought it or made it, but if you made the beat, you did a pretty solid job too. It hit pretty hard, and it was well produced. Same with the vocals. Like they were pretty well produced in terms of like the EQ and compression and limiting and stuff on them too. So yeah. King Comeback, everybody. That is the last track of the night. I've been going for 3 hours, so I'm gonna call it there. Sorry if I missed anyone. I think we got at least almost everyone. So thank you very much for hanging out with me for the past 3 hours. Yeah, if you wanna get my course, there's a link in the description. Excuse me, and if you want to do a consultation call. Very limited hours, so if you don't see one at a current time, just wait till next week and it'll be more available. I have it set so you can only book between like 2 days and 2 weeks in advance because I don't want to have any schedule conflicts. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. This again, these calls are always fun, and I want to go to bed because I gotta wake up in 8.5 hours and go to work. So, yeah, good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you Wednesday and Friday with another video. Good night, Cameron. Good night, Ultra Puggers. Good night, Hey Bangers Kitchen.